Everybody, we are back once again. Brit and Jacob Go to the Movies, episode 24? I think we're at episode 24.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, good. I need to check. I was a little woozy last week. Well, I bet you're wondering, Britton, didn't you do this movie last week? And the answer is kind of. We got about halfway through, and then I got very plastered, to put it. I'll just put it blunt. I got pretty drunk during the duration of the episode. So we're doing something we've never done on Brit and Jacob the Movies. We're doing a second part.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League again. We're basically continuing where we left off. We got our unofficial third member, Carlton Bacon, with us.
What's up, everybody?
Yes. I'm certain that the Snyder Cut drunk edition will become a meme. Also, spread the hashtag release the sober cut around. That'd be appreciated. So yes, this is the sober cut. Which is oddly appropriate, I guess.
Unfortunately. Oh, God. Jacob wants you to be drunk again so bad.
Yeah, that was fun. I will say, I won't pretend I wasn't proud of myself in that occasion, but in an odd, kind of fucked up way, it was fun to record.
Well, Britton, let me tell you this, you'll go down as a legend from that video. I've never heard Jacob laugh so hard a day in my life. He was living it up.
Yeah, I remember hearing him say, "Oh man, we are losing him."
Yeah, there was at least 6 times me and Jacob were like, you know what, if we hear a thump, we're gonna have to take over. That thump never came, luckily.
I don't think it was that bad. It was bad. It wasn't good, but
it was bad. It was bad.
Anyway.
You wanted to skip the whole 4 hours of this. I'm like, we're only halfway. You're like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I knew I was gone. I'm like, wait, we're in the middle of the movie? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I thought we already talked about that. And he's like, well, kind of. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Britton.
And I'm Jacob.
And, we got Carlton again. Unofficial third member of the crew.
Giggity.
Exactly. Anyways, we're talking about the Snyder Cut. And, we were at the middle of the movie.
Yeah, with the, from what I remember from last week, we were on the tunnel scene.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah, right after the whole battle with Steppenwolf, and right up, almost to the point where, the wall crawler part and Cyborg getting the mother box. We didn't make it to that part.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, as they were getting ready to swim in the water, you was pretty much swimming in Jack Daniels, so I'm like, we had to cut it.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. I'm not gonna pretend it wasn't. Okay, yeah. So we're in the tunnel scene. This is I gotta say, I quite enjoy this battle scene. It's very good.
Oh yeah, same here. A major improvement from the Justice League, which is like the tunnel scene alone. There's no scene where Barry's like, I just push on people and run away. Barry is actually useful here. He actually uses his powers. He's not like, oh, I just push people and run away. I'll save one person. Nothing like that. No shit like that. No landing on the boobs.
Oh, God. Don't even talk about that. Ugh. Ugh. I was thinking about the Justice League cut, and I'm like, God, because, say what you want about Joss Whedon. Is he kind of a scumbag? Well, he's not even kind of a scumbag. He is a bit of a scumbag. We'll just put it that way. But he's usually good. And, I'm like, I don't know how he could have bungled this so badly, but then I thought about it, I'm like, well, this isn't really his project, so I guess he didn't really put a lot of effort into it. I don't know. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe the theory he was making it look worse so Avengers can look better, which I won't dismiss that.
I considered that, and maybe I'll put that in the maybe pot.
It's a possibly, but if it is true, I wouldn't really be that surprised.
Like, he puts more effort into his ass shots than he did in this project.
Right.
Because, like, Jacob, I think Jacob had said this last week, that he did this, and I'm like, I think you're right. So after this, because I got Disney Plus, my mother was watching one of the first Avengers movie, because she was on a binge watching of catching up with Marvel movies that she hadn't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, I come in on the scene where Black Widow is talking to Loki. I swear to God, if you put both of them together, it's an exact replica ass shot of Black Widow and Gal Gadot Wonder Woman when she's at the hangar and Bruce just got buried. Put them side to side, it's almost exactly shot the same way.
Yeah, it's like I said, the fucking Justice League, it's so lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to find some critique to say, but no, just yeah.
You sound kind of reluctant to be like, I agree with this.
I was, because I was gonna say he is about as obsessed with ass shots as Quentin Tarantino is with feet.
Well, I mean, I was talking about the whole movie, but I mean his ass shots. I don't know. Maybe he just.
And it was like as you said, the first two Avengers, yeah, those were better. The second one, I know how people feel about them, but it wasn't that bad. But there was still a lot to take away from it that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This, he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like, fuck it, it's a check, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it bombed. It only made $600 million, which it's decent money, but for a Justice League movie, we expect to make over $1 billion. So,
Easily.
yeah, just everything. And Henry Cavill digital mustache removal, just a reminder.
Oh, God.
God damn you. My friend posted saying Superman with a mustache looks like Freddie Mercury in a cape. And I'm like, you know what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
AKA Thrag from Invincible.
Oh, God.
I couldn't help it. I love Invincible. Check that out. Anyway, you know what I can agree on? The Zack Snyder Justice League, at least this 4-hour behemoth, is far superior than the Justice League.
Without
question.
Yeah. And the action scenes look way better. Like, let me tell you. I mean, there's some scenes that look green screeny, but it looks, again, way better than the Justice League version, which, again, I don't even think they were fucking trying.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Because it's almost like, okay, like with Josh's version. You know how you used to watch cartoons and they would have some sort of object in the background that was visibly different from the rest that you knew the character was going to pick up and do something with?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what the green screen was for Josh's League. It's like none of it blended well at all. It's like it was almost cartoonish.
It's like there's no texture.
Color patterns. It was just like a big-ass cartoon.
It was so oversaturated, and that was the immediate red flag when I first saw it. Like, this does not feel like a Zack Snyder movie, because we mentioned this in the last episode. Zack Snyder has a very specific way on how he directs his films visually. Like, Zack Snyder usually has a very desaturated look to his films. Even in some of his, I guess you can say, his more colorful films, like Army of the Dead, for example. I would say that's one of his most colorful films, but it still had a Zack Snyder feel to it. It still felt like a Zack Snyder movie. Like, the colors they weren't in your face and they weren't oversaturated like in the Justice League.
Right, because even in the behind-the-scenes stuff, when he's showing you how he was doing Army of the Dead, even the colors that he knew he wanted, he was like there's a scene where there's red gas tanks or cans. He's with his editor saying, like, you know, they're way too red. Like, for the tone of the scene, it's hard on the eye. So he was like he had his editor kind of saturate the color a little bit so it wasn't as bright. He wasn't trying to make, you know, like gray or anything. He was like he was like, from the honest perspective, that's going to be hard on the eyes. That's going to be so distracting. When this scene's supposed to be serious, the last thing you want to be thinking about is some bright ass cans.
Right. That's why Zack Snyder. That's why Zack Snyder is like in my opinion, an amazing visual director, because like it's like he as I said, like he doesn't like colors to be in your face. He wants it more easy on the eyes, and unlike the Justice League, where it was like so oversaturated, where it was kind of disturbing to look at times. It was just so hideous.
I think if I remember, Carlton brought this up last episode, but there was a guy on YouTube who messed with the mustache, the Superman jawline, and it looked way better than it was in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
I saw that video.
Yeah, they did the mustache. They did the mustache removal better. Justice League, I should say, cost $300 million to make. This dude on his $300 phone fixed it.
I mean, you know, I always insist budget does not always have to hinder creativity. There's a primary example.
But when you have a budget like that, you have no excuse. You can't get rid of a porn stash.
You know,
other than just being lazy.
You know, I could also say the same about The Irishman, the Martin Scorsese movie, because CG in that was, I'll admit, it was mostly good for the most part, but I saw some guy on YouTube who did the de-aging technology, and it looked way better. I'm just like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not, you know, Irishman's a great movie, but, you know, that's just kind of something I noticed.
Yeah, I love The Irishman. Like, you know, I thought it was a really good movie, but there were things in there I did catch. But I guess because I was already liking it, or I liked the majority of it already, I didn't let it bother me. But if like I was on the team, I was like, hey, yo, Martin, you know, you can go back and just, you know, tweak this just a little bit better. Like, you know, especially with the de-aging stuff, because we can still kind of tell that, you know, Robert is like a 70-year-old man, even though in this he's supposed to be like 40 or something. I think they're better with that with Michael Douglas and Ant-Man.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm like, Gordon Gekko? Is that you? No. Wall Street is a very good movie, even though I'm not a huge Oliver Stone fan. I would say that's one of his best ones. Anyways, yeah, but I think we can all agree that the Zack Snyder Justice League is better, and we're already in the middle of the movie. So, but yes, the tunnel fight scene, very well done for the most part.
And more fluent.
Yes.
It cuts better with the story. Like, everyone's doing something. Everyone is having a part instead of just making jokes or doing something stupid that serves no purpose. Like, even with all that going on, and you still have a moment where, like, even in this cool fight, Zack takes just a quick minute just to show some more development with Victor and his father and their arc, and then gets right back to the action.
Yes. Yeah, you know, I kind of like the scene where he takes him, and the dad's just like, "Oh, thanks, man." I forgot to mention this last episode. I was like, that guy looks so familiar. The guy who plays Cyborg's father. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. But wait, he was in the Terminator 2, wasn't he? And I looked it up, and yeah, he was Dyson in Terminator 2. I'm like, no way.
I can never remember his name, but I always remember his face. He was in Scandal. He was in Terminator 2. He was in Speed. He was in Air Force One. The dude's a legend who should be more known.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he's one of those actors where you recognize his face, but you can't figure out his name. Like,
right.
Yeah, the dude is like, he's pretty big.
And you know, whatever movie, if he's in the movie, you know you're gonna enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I really like them. I like that in this. Now I will say, as much as I don't like the Justice League, there is one teeny little thing in that version that I did like, or that I missed in this scene. It's the music when only in this section, the music when Barry is touching the sword, and it's this dramatic flare when he's running, getting towards the sword. But that's only because Danny Elfman did it. It has nothing to do with what Josh did, because Josh sucks. That's the only reason why I kind of miss it. But I understand why it wasn't used in this, because Zack wanted to use only what he did, and maybe in his version it just didn't match. But after seeing that, I'm like, yeah, I still like it. But the scene itself is still biblical as heck, and it's still a really cool homage to, I forget what the painting is called, but if you've ever seen anything in movies where they show art, the painting of God's finger touching someone on Earth, and the finger's getting ready.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of that painting, but that's one of the things I love about Zack. He's always finds a way to put stuff like that in his movies, either whether it's in the background, whether it's a physical reenactment of the actors in some way, or it's a metaphor. Everything is in there. It's got so many layers of context and Easter eggs that you'll never know unless he tells you about it.
And it's super subtle too. I like that Snyder doesn't like it's not in your face. It's super subtle.
Very like Brit probably knows this. Like Daredevil, Born Again, when his mother has him in his arms. That's the painting of when Mary was holding Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's subtle, and it's also made a cool ass cover. I love when a director knows stuff like that and has that knowledge and knows how to incorporate into the story. Can you imagine Josh trying to do some shit like that? The only thing he probably could reference is maybe a picture or something he saw on Pornhub.
Yeah, exactly.
That's as bold a culture as he can get.
Well, okay. Okay. I do think it's funny when he approaches later and his dad's just like, he's like, thanks, son, and he's just like, don't mention it, and he just like, pew, just the whole fucking Snyder Goku, pew off the ground, or whatever the fuck he does, I forget.
Yeah, when he says, hey, I wasn't sure he was gonna come, and Victor says, you're my father. Like, even in that moment where he's still technically mad at him, he's, still acknowledging, like, I still love you, it's just give me a minute. This is hard.
So, it's like I'm mad at you right now.
Understanding.
Yeah.
But, oh shit, there was a line I forgot. Last week we skipped over. I had a friend that complained about this, but I thought it was badass. Most Batman-esque line you can think of, that Cyborg is a living computer. Pretty much knows everything from the dark web to the Google to whatever. But yet, takes a minute to look at Batman and said, I heard about you. I didn't think you were real. Batman's like, I'm real when it's useful. Like, you know how scary you have to be where Cyborg doesn't even know for sure that you exist? Like, that, you're mad good at covering your tracks. Bruce Wayne could murder someone and no one would know.
Such an underrated, line.
Right.
Didn't think you were real. I'm real when it's useful. I was like, yeah, that just shows that Batman is, really freaking good and establishes on how intelligent and super strategic Batman is.
Man, sometimes it's easy to forget, this version of Batman is a veteran. He's like, young blood, I've been in the game for 20 years. I can disappear when I want. But if you know that I'm real, that means you fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, Batman's basically a one-man army. He's just... if he wanted to, he could literally do anything he wants. Can't even describe. He could probably assassinate all of the, leaders of the world if he wanted to. I mean, he's not gonna do it, because he's not a bad guy.
Right.
Or, well, most versions anyway.
But that's what Superman always says, he's the most dangerous one on the team. He may not have powers, but the motherfuckers' contingency plans aren't to be fucked with.
It's his drive, will, and intelligence. I mean, that's why Batman is the most dangerous man alive, as Superman said.
Exactly.
If you have Superman, the most powerful being on the planet, say that Batman is the most dangerous person, then that's saying a lot.
You should probably listen to him.
Yeah, he probably should. But then that clown guy, he's like, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. I'm gonna fuck with this dude's life. That's a good idea. I don't think he really gives a shit though.
Probably not. But okay, so yeah, after that scene, shit, what happens? Oh, yeah, Aquaman came and property damage, all that stuff. Cyborg retrieves the last mother box that Steppenwolf had not taken yet, and first of all, just the image of Cyborg, which in this CGI, I have to say, he looks so much better.
Yeah, he does.
It's like the CGI wasn't finished, and they didn't give a fuck to finish it in the last version. And this one is so much more polished. It's more detailed. There's more, it just looks better. It doesn't look half-ass.
It's like, in Justice League... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't look artificial. Like, Cyborg's, the visuals for... The effects for Cyborg in the Justice League, it just looks so artificial. It looked like Ray Fisher's half face was just floating on top of his mechanical body. Where in the Snyder Cut, it looked way more polished, as Carlton said.
Yeah, in the Justice League, he almost looks like he's having a seizure in his body. I'm like, dude, are you alright? You need to go to, a hospital? Chill. Oh my god.
Exactly.
You need to go to a hospital? Look like you're about to fucking go into an epileptic fit in, 5 minutes.
Exactly.
But no, in this it looks way better. I'm like, wow, he actually looks really cool. He looks a lot like the Teen Titans from the animated show. Not Teen Titans Go. No, we don't talk about that show here.
We don't speak of that show ever on here.
The fact that my niece, Lily, I was watching the original one. My nieces were with me one day, and they said, "Well, that they like the new one better." I was like, I'm about to bitch slap y'all.
You were aghast.
I was shooketh.
I'll
How
blame.
dare you think that the retard version is much better than the version that I grew up on that had more depth and character?
Yeah.
I'm like, this generation sucks ass.
Right.
And I mean,
God.
it sucks ass till it's dry. But I'm like, you know what? They're my nieces. Let them live. Let them enjoy their Teen Titans Go. Because I know that my Teen Titans was better. It is what it is. They like Frozen, so whatever.
Yeah, so we'll let that one slide with them.
Oh my god. But, yeah, Cyborg looks better. The visual effects were better. The fight was better. And then the scene, it tends to go over a couple people's heads when after that, Steppenwolf has this vision, which I gotta say, when I first saw this scene, I didn't know where it was going for the first couple of seconds. But then when you realize that, oh wait, that's going back to the dark side scene from the Gods battle, you're realizing, oh shit, is he discovering the anti-life equation? Sure enough, yeah, he found the anti-life equation and it's on Earth. I'm like, see, now the stakes are even higher. That was one thing. Actually, that's one of several things that was missing in Josh's shit. The stakes weren't as high as they should have been for this caliber of cast of characters.
Yeah, I actually felt something, and I forgot to mention, there were several times in this movie, and I'll bring this up later as we get to, the Superman stuff, but there were times in this movie where I was thinking, oh, wow, it's actually starting to feel like the DC universe for once. Oh, wow, it's starting to get there. They're really it took 3 movies, but we're getting there. Finally,
There's one scene, I don't know if we're at this scene yet, but I'm just going to mention it. This scene compared to the Justice League and to the Snyder Cut, where Steppenwolf catches the missile, and in the Justice Justice League version, he says primitive beings, where in the Snyder Cut, he just says nothing. For me, that's a big improvement, because it makes for me, it makes the scene more tense and more engaging, rather than him just saying primitive beings, along with the horrible CGI look compared to the Snyder Cut, where his look is a lot more badass and he's a lot more menacing.
Yeah, because I think I got tired of him talking after the whole "you will love me" mother line or whatever. I'm like, him not saying anything just made it seem like I ain't gotta waste my breath. Like, his look, his demeanor said that line for you. And sometimes in filmmaking, that's one of the biggest rules. Showing is telling. I don't need you to always say what's on your mind, because no one always says what's on their mind in movies or in real life. His action said, "This shit ain't shit." Ping! Just let that shit fly and hit the tunnel.
Exactly. You didn't even need to say anything. Less is more.
Especially after the whole "you will love me." I'm like, to this day, I want to know what the fuck Josh was on about that. Mother's calling, "You will all love me." I'm like, nigga, are you horny or something? Are you like, is your dick drier than your armor? What's up with you? You're talking about my blade is still slick with the blood of your sisters. I'm like, it's the only thing that's getting wet this evening.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, Steppy. Now, if the new version had said that would have been a scary line. But because this Mr. Ooze from Power Rangers football looking thing is saying it, I'm not shivering my boots.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised none of the characters just did like a Jossism with like, ooh, I'm so scared, and then they just like run over and like punch him in the face and like, you know, when you said he catches the missile, I was thinking like he was, like I saw there was a video of scenes that he directly lifted from the Avengers movies into his movie. I'm just thinking he just catches it like Loki does in the first Avengers movie.
Yes.
And it like blows up in his face.
I said that was exactly what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, he's basically ripping off of the Avengers. So
he's ripping himself off like that.
The whole like.
Now I'm fully convinced.
Like in the original, like in his Justice League, when Wonder Woman says "children," I work with children. I'm like, are you trying to do that whole thing where the female on the team makes jokes like she's like the mom of the group? Because you already did that with Black Widow. Like Black Widow and Age of Ultron said, "I'm always picking up after you boys." Nigga, this is not Avengers 3. This is Justice League. Wonder Woman doesn't have time to say stuff like that. She's too busy slicing niggas. You can give her some corny ass bullshit line like that. Wonder Woman literally, she gives you 3 warnings for a reason. So that way, after that third one, she has all the permission in the world to fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Where did you see her?
Utilize her character.
Yeah, and then sexualize her, and then get attitude when she tells you she's not going to do stuff on the set, but because that scene where Flash lands on her, she doesn't do that. Her body double did that because Gail said, "I'm not doing it," and that's when Josh was threatening to end her career and blah 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 blah. But she basically in the classiest way she can told him, "Fuck you, you small dick motherfucker. I ain't doing it. You can't make me." And he didn't make her. Warner Brothers were like, "Okay, look, let's do a body double because we need her still for our other movies. So please her." I'm like, you bitch. Like, you dirty, sexist bitch.
I'm not going to be sexualized by this micro-penis, misogynistic piece of shit by doing ass shots or having a Flash land on me or anything like that. Basically make me a sex object in the Justice League version. God.
You know, because even Ezra didn't want to do it. Like, Ezra doesn't have the pull that Gale has, so he kind of had, was like, all right, just get it over with. But afterwards, you know for a fact, after that shoot, all of them were thinking in their minds, I'm never working with this ass clown again a day in my life.
Oh, yeah, and like I said last week, in that interview he did at the beginning of the year, my God, what a painful read.
His people don't love him.
Yeah, it's like...
His PR people don't love him. Like, I'm like, did Trump's people represent you? Or they thought this was okay?
Because I'm fully convinced now.
Let me tell you, just the cringiest interview I've ever read in my life. I mean, there's some stuff I'm like, okay. And then there's others I'm like, oh my God, what were you thinking? Like, he just was like, oh, Gal Gadot, I speak in an overly flowery way, and Gal Gadot done. It's like, oh, let me look even worse than I already do right now. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, yeah, well,
Yes.
probably, yes. But God. Ugh. God almighty.
Like, oh yeah, he's blacklisted.
That pissed me off. Like, I was like, are you fucking serious? That's the best you can do? Like, come on.
Ray Fisher can't even act, really, because he still has a job.
Yeah, and he's going to be in Rebel Moon, so haha.
And he was in something else earlier, late last year, so he's still working. Where's your shit at? You haven't done anything since Justice League, and you got your show ripped from you. They said, no, we'll do it. We don't want you near us because it's bad publicity. And then when they were trying to exit him quietly, Ray Fisher was like, nah, fuck that. You got fired. Don't say that you decided to leave the project. You got fired. He was all up in his ass like a fly on an African person in the hot desert sun.
Pathetic. It's just pathetic.
Oh, it's just sad. It's, you know what I mean? You know, I won't pretend that I'm not like, or well, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like Tig, where I really love Joss Whedon's work. But, you know, I kind of like Joss Whedon's work. I thought he did some good stuff. Like the first Avengers movie. Still one of my favorite MCU films. And then he does this. You're just like, dude, why? It's like, very annoying.
Just good lord.
Anyway.
But, yeah.
Anyways, back to the good Justice League movie. It turns out, as we mentioned before, Victor hid the mother box and he gets it. I gotta say, I love the design of the mother box. I don't know why. I just really like it. Looks fucking good.
Hell yeah.
It's so ancient but alien looking at the same time, but also it's true to what you know. It's like, even if you didn't know their mother boxes, if you know Parademons or Darkseid, you know, like, that's a mother box.
You know,
I can tell.
You know, we always make fun of those idiots in sci-fi movies who, like, you know, try to touch the thing and they get, like, murdered. Like, I think I would be that idiot, because I kind of want to touch it.
I was like, ooh, pretty box.
Ah! I'm getting visions! My brain! And
well, technically, you're not wrong, because we do technically get a vision later after that Steppenwolf scene. When Cyborg is explaining, which that was another thing. They didn't explain shit about the mother boxes in Justice League. This, he's like, here, let me take 2 minutes to explain to y'all, where did this come from? How did Victor Stone's father, Silas, get a hold of it? And how do you know about it? And all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. And also, it ties into telling the team how Victor has this condition. So we killed basically 3 birds with 1 stone in a matter of like 4 minutes.
yeah, like they basically explain how, or I think Cyborg's the one who explains that that his dad used it to rebuild his body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he like shows a holograph of the whole thing. He shows the team this is what happened, which because they're in the hangar of one of Bruce Wayne's buildings where the Flying Fox is being repaired. Which I like that Cyborg was talking about that. Like he could, you know, talk to machines. He's like, there's a wiring issue with this. And at first I'm thinking, okay, cool. He's just noticing that. But I didn't realize that later in the movie that was going to tie into something. But we'll get to that part in a minute. But a fun fact about that scene, because I loved how they filmed the whole cameras going around them as they're talking about the mother box. Zack put green screen type of thing around them, and he put 2 cameras on each side to rotate it so that way he can get continuity. It flows with when the characters are speaking. We can catch the reaction of other characters while we're catching the reaction of the person speaking. So that way it flows right. And I'm like, that is so freaking smart. That is so clever. But can you imagine Josh trying to do that shit? He would just say, fuck it, and just do one camera guy, and hope that you get the reactions. Zack was like MacGyvering this shit just to give us a perfect flow. And only thing he said about it was he kind of wishes he did a third camera because he thinks it would have been better. But just with the two that you did, the scene is just beautifully shot, and that's so smart as in aspects of filmmaking.
Yes, with a team like this, we need to see their reactions in that scene. Zack Snyder, agreed, 100% agreed. Very clever and smart way to do this scene. Joss Whedon would have done something like, we're just going to show Batman, and then we'll show Aquaman, then we'll show Barry, cut back to them, then that's it. Probably another ass shot from Wonder Woman, but no, Zack Snyder. Not in that scene. In the Snyder Cut.
Or another dig at Steve Trevor. I'm like, really? Bruce wouldn't even be like Bruce Wayne has been known to be a dick from time, but in this version that's trying to bring a team together, he's not gonna make an unnecessary dig at the fact that Steve Trevor is dead.
No, that's not who
Batman is. That's not who Batman is. Like, he wouldn't do that. Like, yeah, he's gruff, but I don't think he'd do that. Like, he can come off as mean, but I don't think he'd do that. Like, come on.
Especially when it comes to, like, losing a loved one. Like, even Batman would be like, no, I've lost people. I would never disrespect someone else's lost loved one, too.
I think that it kind of feeds into my theory that Joss didn't really care about the movie. He was just like, let's just do this and get it over with.
No, he didn't. And I should have known he was going to fuck up Batman because what was the first red flag? How he filmed Batman's entrance in Josh's League. When Batman should be treated like how Zack did, as a horror movie. The people that he saved, the sex slaves, were scared of him. Like, it's still in here. Not he, like he's a man. It is still here. When we see Batman in the corner of a room like a giant bat in a scary film. So you should have had nothing but cool visual effects, visuals of showing Batman on a rooftop in Gotham, his playground, like a apex predator stalking his prey. But no, we're just gonna show him in all light glory doing his flips. Basically, you're showing us his tricks on how he does things, and that takes away the magic of Batman.
Yeah, and fucking Ben Affleck looks like he doesn't want to fucking be there. Looks like he just got fucking plastered the previous night. Oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah, even from the first scene we see Batman like fighting like these thugs, like the fighting sequences with Batman and the Justice League in the Joss version, it was very choppy and just very messy and very bright, as Carlton said. It takes away from Batman kind of being like the symbol of fear, and that was really frustrating. Like, in my mind, when I first watched the Justice League, I was like, they're basically Whedon is basically making him a discount version of Tony Stark in the worst way possible.
Right. And like, who the fuck? Because if you look back, you'll see who the fuck is gonna talk to Alfred in front of the thug when the parademon blows up. And then the thug is still wrapped up. He's hopping around, having a conversation with Batman. I'm like, nigga, Batman would not say his name out loud, first of all, in front of the criminal. Second of all, why is he still hopping around? No, the Ben Affleck that Zack has established would have knocked him out or smashed his face into the wall to make sure he was out for the count.
Yeah. You know, I will give Zack this. I do have issues with his Batman, but one of the things I think Zack does nail is Batman as the symbol of fear. As you guys were talking about, because like, you know, like Carlton said, like, you know, when he's introduced in like Batman v Superman, he's fucking scary. Like, you know, he's like, you know, I mean, I think the new movie also nailed this beautifully, that Batman is this kind of creature of the night. He's almost this horror show.
Right.
For all these criminals, you know.
And you see, the two people who did him right, they understood it. They were like, yeah, the shadows. He's a shadow being. The whole person. Even if you don't agree with Nolan, one of the things that he still tackled in the story, Batman is a creature of the shadows. And then he had someone challenge him on that. Like, no, you adapted the darkness. I am the darkness. So even then, he still had that knowledge and knew how to light him and knew how to tease him. In Batman Begins, you only saw a couple pieces of him. And then when he does introduce him fully, it's in a dramatic, epic way that works, and it's not too in your face. It's not too like he's not too like revealed too much. There's still an element of silhouette, element of shadow to him, and theatrics to him. Because when he makes his entrance, it's like he's flying away. We know it's cables, but he's showing Batman from our perspective on why people would say, "Oh, it was like a flying bat," because he looks like he's flying. With Pattinson, looked like he was flying. He just emerges from the darkness like the darkness is his home. With Ben Affleck, he's screwy. He's like a horror character. He's of a myth that you don't know is real or not. And the people who have seen him, they're lost for words because they've gone their entire careers not knowing if he was real or not. Then when they see him, they shit themselves. Three people that understand him better than asshole Wheaton.
Yeah, because Josh Whedon, like like if you were gonna make Batman a discount version of Tony Stark, you might as well would have had him stand on the Ezra rooftop, just doing the classic superhero pose with the cape flowing, like.
Jesus Christ!
He does like a bully Affleck dance like in the meantime.
Oh
God!
Hell no! I would have thrown something at my screen, to be honest with you. No way, I can't afford to pay for that shit. But I would, just so that way I could get rid of the abomination out of my mind.
Oh God! I'm surprised that they didn't do the whole, Batman. The picture, the Frank Miller one of Batman, where it's like fit and he looks like he's about to fucking murder everybody, and he looks scary in that photo. Oh my God, looks like a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't replicate that in this, because this Batman is basically like he's the Frank Miller Batman, basically. Like he's done playing around. He'll beat your ass to the ground.
Right. And even Zack showed that. Like in Batman v Superman, one of my favorite shots in the Doomsday fight. He replicates the lightning in the background image in the middle of a fight, and it's so quick and subtle, but it's fluid. I'm like, he did the thing. I was like Peter Griffin. I was like, he did it.
He did the thing.
Yeah. I'm like, sick as fuck. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, straight up Dark Knight Returns Batman. Just from him being a veteran version, him being older, from the look of him, straight up Dark Knight Returns.
Right. I'm totally fine with Ben Affleck being the Dark Knight Returns version and Robert Pattinson being the Long Halloween version or Batman Year One version. That works both perfectly for them both.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, Steppenwolf does get a vision of the anti-life equation. Oh boy, which is the secret power which is sought by Darkseid in order to control all of existence, and he ends up telling Darkseid about it.
Yeah, he it's like he rings the saw. He's like, "Yo, dude, hold on, pick up his phone real quick. I got something I gotta tell you real quick." He's like, and like the saw almost has a demeanor like every time Steppenwolf calls him, he's like, this could have been like an email or something. you keep bothering me about this bullshit. What do you want now? I know you want to come home. You still owe us 50,000 worlds. Nick, fuck that shit. I found the anti-life equation, my dude. You did what? I found the anti-life equation. Get Darkseid on the phone. I need to talk to him directly. You sure you found it? Bruh, I put my axe down. Literally. I found the shit. And then, I swear to God, like I knew we were getting ready to see him, but even I felt an inch of fear when I saw the parademons bow before he came. I'm like, oh shit. And then when we see Darkseid just emerge from the rock, like, surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I will say Darkseid looks good.
He looks godly. Steppenwolf had to strip his armor in respect. He's like, my lord, hi. And then, like, that's one of the things I love. Yeah, Thanos is a really cool villain, and yes, very intimidating. But you never saw anybody bow to him quicker than how Steppenwolf did. Like, he knew if I even look at him the wrong way, I'm fucked.
Oh no, Thanos is a bitch compared to Darkseid.
Like Darkseid would be like, a what? Infinity Gauntlet? You mean a bitch mitten?
Exactly.
You mean your cooking or kitchen mitten? Oh, I'll just break that.
Oh, you got some crystals? Yeah, what you go? Man, those are Jolly Ranchers, motherfucker.
he just like breaks it with his hand. He just breaks them all. And Thanos just is like, no, my stones, and he starts like crying like a bitch.
Like, look, you got these crystals to impress some dead lady, bitch. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm trying to conquer the world.
I'm gonna strip humanity of its soul. Like, wow, damn.
Then Thanos like, this is not perfectly balanced.
Nope, but your back will be when I break that shit.
Exactly.
Goes full Bane, I'll break you, and just like cracks his back over his knee. Oh, God.
And then stand demonically with my hands behind my back. That's how you know you're the shit. When you stand with your hands behind your back, like nothing bothers you. Like a commander, a dictator. Just the way he walks, his swagger. Honestly, it's like seeing God getting ready to kill you and stomp on you like a little bug. How can you not fear him? And that was the element that I was missing from all of Steppenwolf in the first one. But as badass as he was in this, to see him in a moment of being obedient, that makes Darkseid's presence and his status as a villain that much more intimidating when the badass of this movie bows to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention. When they realized that the Cyborg was put back together with the mother box, they're like, wait a minute, you don't mean, and they do that old thing where they're like, oh wait, you don't mean, it like cuts to Superman, and Lois is like fucking wreck after Clark died.
Yeah, and also when you see that scene, another little thing, which I think Jacob was more on it last week about all the stuff he liked about Flash in this, but Flash is smart. Flash is educated, and he's a forensic scientist. I mean, not yet in this point in this continuity, but Flash is smart. He understands science. You didn't get that feeling in the last one. You just like he was just some dumb kid who just ran fast and ate. In this, he understood what they were talking. He was engaged in the science aspect of the conversation. He's like, why don't we just destroy it? When Cyborg says you can't, it just replaces, like, the atoms are not destroyed or whatever. They're just rearranged. He's like, well, okay. So, like, he realizes, wait a minute, based on what the science you're telling me, oh, I know what you're talking about. Who's going to say it? I ain't saying it. Cyborg's like, all right, I'll just show Superman all his glory. Like, I love that Flash is smart in this, because he is. Josh didn't understand that shit. He just wanted to treat him as, a Quicksilver, but doesn't get shot.
Exactly. Like, the Flash in this, like, he has the perfect balance of being adorable and being super endearing, while also being, like, super smart, because he is a forensic scientist, and he is fascinated by this, instead of, compared to the Joss version, where he was basically, in my opinion, making him a discount version of Tom Holland's Spidey, with all these unnecessary jokes, and just saying, like, I don't get why people say brunch. It's basically lunch and breakfast and combined, or like, oh, it feels like a cave. A bat cave. Nothing like that, thank God. Like, his jokes in the Snyder Cut, they're smart and subtle. It's not annoying. Thank God.
Even in the graveyard scene, when he's like, I could do this like in a nanosecond, right? Cyborg's like, we could, but of course they have that understanding, like, nah, this is Superman. We gotta pay respect. And even Flash takes a moment to say, like, he was my hero. Like, showing the importance of Superman even after death. Where the fuck was that scene in the last one, where all he was caring about was like trying to get a dab from Cyborg? I'm like, bruh, you're killing me here. You're fucking up my berry.
Yeah, you're like, all you care about is like getting a fist pump from Cyborg. But in the Snyder Cut, because Snyder actually cares about these characters, he's like, oh, Superman, I looked up to him.
Yeah, and they're like digging up his grave, and you're just like, oh Lord, we're in this is what we're doing now. and they end up putting his body into the Kryptonian ship that Lex Luthor was using in BVS.
Yeah. Oh wait, but don't forget, before that happened, the scene with Lois and a quote unquote Martha.
Oh yeah, you know, I'll put it this way: I really like this scene, but I feel it kind of gets undercut by the reveal later that you know who she was actually talking to. Even though I really love this character.
Yeah, it goes like, who's gonna say it? I'm not gonna say it.
It is. So, Martha talks to... So, Martha, in quotes, talks to, Lois about Clark and how she feels and if she needs anything. And she's like, oh yeah, I heard about your house. And she's like, oh, I'll be fine. You know, I was gonna sell that damn thing anyway. And, it's actually a really touching scene. She basically gives her I heard you haven't been to work in, like, 2 months, and she basically gives her this, like, really beautiful, heartfelt speech about, this, like, beautiful speech about moving on with her life and not letting the grief of losing Clark just completely, fuck up her life, basically. And then it turns back to the general we saw, or the general guy played by the dude from the Blacklist, who is revealed later to be the main man, John Jones himself, Martian Manhunter. Oh man, that was awesome.
You know, it was frustrating to see YouTubers that reacted to the whole thing on YouTube, and some of them didn't know who Martian Manhunter was.
Oh my god, he was one of my favorite characters in...
I was so, I'm like, you know what, dislike, not...
Unsubscribe.
Who knows?
I'm reporting it.
I'm gonna watch someone I recognize. Like, even Blind Wave, because they watch a lot of Marvel stuff, the guy who has the glasses, when he saw Martian Manhunter, he was so speechless, he had to get up and walk. He's like, are you telling me he was Martian Manhunter the entire time? I'm like, yup. Finally, someone else knows about him, who's an OG to the Justice League.
I mean, I mean...
One of my favorites in the Justice League.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, Martian Manhunter was one of my favorite characters in the Justice League. The cartoon, especially. He was phenomenal in that. I think he was played by the guy who played Isaiah in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if I remember correctly.
You are correct.
Yes! I knew it.
Yep. You can't forget that voice.
Oh my god, he's so... Oh man, it's just, as much as I've been kind of shaking my fist at the DCEU, it was really nice to see, the Martian Manhunter, because man, I love that character quite a bit.
Yeah, and the design.
Oh,
the
man.
design is so alien-like. It's so much better than, I don't want to shit on, the CW Supergirl, because, the budget thing is totally different. They did with what they could. But this just feels more like his Supergirl's Martian Manhunter kind of feels like the design is derivative of everyone else in that universe. Like, it's lazy.
Right.
Where in Zack Snyder's, his design is specific for him. No one else has anything close to that. It makes him more unique. And Martian Manhunter, you have to treat him uniquely. Otherwise, you take away from why he's so important. Superman has said he's about as powerful as he is. That's saying something. Martian Manhunter is a shape-shifting Martian who can do incredible things. You better put some respect on his name.
Yeah, and I also always loved about Martian Manhunter, his super calm demeanor.
Yes, the heart of the team.
Yeah, he's very soulful, as I like to say.
Especially I know it's a cartoon, but still, one of my favorite scenes in the cartoon was Superman invites him to his parents' house for Christmas because he doesn't have anyone else.
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends with he's saying, well, he's giving presents, but he's like, I didn't get you anything. But at the end of the episode, the cat that didn't like him at first, but likes him when he's in his true form, he's singing an alien song while at the window petting him. And the song is so beautiful, it calmly wakes up everyone. And Superman comments, and he said he didn't have a gift for us. Yeah, that sums up Martian Manhunter and pretty much one sentence. He's just so, as you said, he's so calm. He's so down to earth. Even though he's from a whole different world, he's just so peaceful. And for him to say, like, the world needs you too, Lois, that meant two things. One, he understood the importance of the situation now, and he's a character that Zack took the time to remind the audience Lois is important. And this is, it's not just Bruce saying it or Clark saying it. Even Martian Manhunter is saying she's important. It's tying into the stakes that they want to remind you of later in the film.
And that's why Martian Manhunter is a goat.
All day, every day.
Oh, one of them. Yeah. Freaking awesome.
Like, can you imagine if, like, you're in trouble and Martian Manhunter is on your team?
Oh, man, I've never been in trouble. Just, keep fire away from him. That'd be nice.
Yep.
Yeah, just let me sit back and relax.
Yeah, they're very back and forth on that weakness. Like, sometimes they, like, no, it's more of a mental distraction thing, and then he overcomes it and fire's not an issue. I'm like, but I don't understand it. I don't understand how.
Yeah.
Because he could imitate the heat vision thing. How does fire? I'm like, that's just the one nitpick I have about his character that's frustrating. He's the most powerful being, but fire. Fire, he can't fuck with that. I'm like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
So the team ends up they end up taking Clark's body out of they exhume his grave, which is, I always get kind of queasy when I see that. I'm like, God, it's so disrespectful. And they end up putting it into that pool that's in the Kryptonian ship. That I think it's the one Luthor was using. They break
it's the
in.
same one.
What?
It's the same one.
Oh, it's the same one.
It's like their Fortress of Solitude type of thing. That because Zack he doesn't really have a fortress. He kind of makes the ship be the ship as the Fortress of Solitude to a degree. Because instead of it being like somewhere in the Arctic and then it gets accessed by a crystal, Zack was like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna make the Kryptonian ship, the one thing from his world that's still here, be the fortress. So they go in that after they broken into Star Labs, and after the scene where Aquaman and Diana, I should say Arthur and Diana, have a moment where they're talking about the fact that one's Atlantean, the other's Amazonian, and their people haven't worked with each other in years. Also tying into how Arthur's a loner and all that stuff. He's like, yeah, no, your people, I hate my Atlanteans as much as your people hate us. But Diana's like, hate is useless. It's so subtle, but it's one of those things where Wonder Woman, being the oldest one, literally the oldest one on the team, she has the experience and the wisdom that kind of, strikes a core a little bit in Arthur. And then when they break into Star Labs, Cyborg hacks into the whole thing and makes it seem like it's a drill that everyone's got to get out of the building. And I almost was on the verge of being pissed off because I thought Victor's dad was going to fuck it up.
I thought it was funny how he's like, what? No, it's not. I checked it already. And he's like looking around and he sees his son. And he's like, oh, okay, I see. It's superhero business. Okay, I'll see you later. And he just fucks off.
He's like, oh, never mind. Yeah, the drill is real. Make sure there's no one inside.
Yeah.
Copy that, sir. But I love that. I love that he's, letting his son, do his thing, and they have that understanding with each other. I'm like, all right, cool. Because I thought y'all was going to do something else that was going to be completely frustrating at this point of the fucking movie. But no, they didn't go with that route. I was like, fine, cool. Then when they get to the Kryptonian ship, this is going to bug me. Flash goes past this dead body, and we don't know who's inside. And then there's also an empty capsule. This is like the third time they've teased that empty capsule, and it started to become an obsession of mine to figure out who the fuck is in there or was in there.
Yeah.
I even went back to read the Man of Steel prequel comic that talked about this. I don't know if it's Supergirl or not. Like, I don't know if it's like Zack says. Oh, he knows who it is. He just doesn't know if he'll. He at some point he will probably reveal it. But I'm like, Zack, I'm getting ready to tweet you. Like, please tell me who was in this capsule. Who? Because I need to know. Like Seven. What's in the fucking box?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
God.
if I remember, the plan is like, because they can't activate it on their own. Cyborg is like, okay, Barry, you run and give it the juice, or something like that. I forget exactly.
Yeah, Barry mentions this because they didn't know that they could do this until Barry in this scene says, "I don't like to break this rule, but when I go at a certain speed, I can rewind time, or I do stuff with time, so I can go fast enough where I can rewind the box dropping just at the right time that it meets the liquid, and the electricity comes off of me to charge it to activate the mother box to resurrect Superman." So so they're like, okay, is that what we want to do? Bruce is like, yeah, do it. Like, fucking hurry up. And Arthur feels a certain way about it. He's like, this is a bad idea. We probably shouldn't do this. Bruce is like, shut up, nigga. We doing this. So, essentially, he's like, shut up. Keep going. He's like, he's hell bent on making sure that we bring him back. So Barry sets all the way back to the beginning of the ship, and Cyborg is going to count him down so that way they can time this right just perfectly. But as soon as it gets to 1, Cyborg gets a vision, or several visions at once, and we see like all these things that could happen or will happen in an alternate timeline, where we see like, Darkseid killing Arthur. Diana was dead, so she's being buried in her funeral, and the mother, Hippolyta, is grieving. We see that Lois was burnt to a crisp. I'm talking about like crisp, like when you overcook chicken crisp.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman's arms, and he's crying, and then Darkseid pretty much convinces him to like work with him. So you see that alternate timeline where Superman has the cowl of Batman from BVS. All these things that could happen, and Cyborg says no, like to himself. It's like no, but Barry's like, wait, oh, you said go? Okay, let's go, and he does it, and you see this effect on time. Everything's being rewinded and going forward at the same time at just the right moments. Like Flash touches the box, sends his ass flying because he has got so much momentum behind him.
I'm sorry.
That's boom.
No, I always. Oh.
No, you're good.
I just say when he goes into his Speed Force mode, I always think of the scene in Days of Future Past when Quicksilver runs around. I just want him to play Time in a Bottle on the guitar.
Oh, god damn, I fucking hate that.
You hate that scene? Oh my god, I love it.
I hate when they do that with Quicksilver. Because it's like, it's so annoying. It's so played out. It's like someone said to me, well, no, it's like the thing where Daredevil does a hallway fight. No, it's not. Daredevil's hallway fights are cool. This shit is just fucking annoying and stupid. Flash is faster than this. Quicksilver ain't. He's fast. This is Flash speed shit. Fuck that Quicksilver.
But anyway,
I would say that I'm surprised, but I'm not.
Like, he's not even I lost respect for him after WandaVision, anyways. Boner.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So you know what? Whatever legit argument you had about him before that happened, it's gone now. But Jesus, if I'll never, I literally, it's getting to a point where when I like the movie Days of Future Past, I skip that whole entire scene. I just skip over. I'm like, yeah, let's get to the important shit. Fuck this corny shit. You didn't even tell Magneto that he was your daddy. Whatever.
I will say it is way better than Age of Apocalypse, but that's a whole other conversation for another time.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes. So he starts he fucking again goes to the Goku, pew, and just starts running, and he ends up doing it. He gets the fucking electricity and it goes off, and Aquaman's like, I don't know, and Batman's like, it'll be fine, don't panic, and he's like, I don't know about this. That's the whole scene. They're just they're arguing with each other, oh god, and then.
It's I was waiting for Batman to be like, look, motherfucker, I will throw a fish at you. Shut up.
And he goes
this is working.
boom! And then Flash just goes boom! Bitch! And just fucking, and Superman's alive again.
In that scene where he activates the mother box, it's a lot more intense compared to the Justice League. Just have to bring that up.
Yeah, well, that's a no-brainer. Whatever elements of the Justice League's scene of this that I liked was because they were using Zack's footage. But then when they do that whole... We'll get to the battle between Superman versus League, but that whole, you won't let me live, you won't let me die, tell me, do you bleed? I was like, this will be intimidating if your upper lip didn't look like a buttocks spread open.
Exactly.
Looks like a fucking cartoon. Just and it's fucking not it looks like his mouth is having a stroke. Again,
right,
the CG in the Justice League is awful. It's awful. Who thought was good? Who? Why? It's just, his mouth looks like it's about to have a stroke. It looks like he had a stroke. It looks like he had a stroke. His brain cells aren't working correctly.
But look, when you're watching a movie and it freezes and the picture is so off, that's what his upper lip looks like.
Oh my god.
And the executives, they saw this because it was an article that came out 6 months ago. They saw this and admitted this looks like shit. But they went with the movie anyways.
They kept it in anyway because they're fuck. We got a deadline we gotta uphold.
Oh, no. You know why they kept that in there?
Why?
Because this is when AT&T was getting ready to buy Warner Brothers. They weren't sure they were going to get their bonus in time before the early talks of the merge. So they went with it anyways instead of pushing it to fix it. Yeah, awkward long pause.
Oh god, it's just oh god, what a...
Yeah.
CG is awful in Justice League. Can I just say this again? The Justice League is terrible. Terrible movie.
You could say about 10 times, it still wouldn't be enough.
The CG is just... Oh, fuck. His mouth. Fucking stroke mouth Superman.
Yeah, it looks like his mouth is being fucked. It's yeah.
It's wrong. I can't even think of the words of just how wrong that CG looks. It just looks horrendous.
It looked like he just got Botox in his upper lip.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's
Superman trying to look like a bad bitch from Beverly Hills. It ain't working.
It's also that scene when he's on the phone with those kids. It's God. I'm not, you guys know, I'm not the hugest Superman fan. I respect Superman, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Blasphemy.
I'm more of a Batman guy. But, God, that CG just looks awful.
And if Zack had did that, it would have been, the execution of it would have been better.
Maybe. I'll put that in the most likely category.
Because
anything would have looked better than what we got in the Justice League.
I like the idea that Superman would interact with the kids,
Yeah, that's who Superman is.
But here's two things wrong with when they did that in Justice League. One, there was never a moment where he had to do that prior to Batman v Superman, or before he dies. Two, why would a kid... you couldn't just show the kids interacting. You got to do it via phone. Are you trying to be hip with modern day? Kids these days, they may be filming, but you could show the actual kid talking to Superman. The whole setup of it would have been probably a little bit different, but Zack would have been no, I can rearrange this and do this much better.
I'm sure anything would have been better than that scene. Ugh.
Yeah, it could have been. it could have been a great scene because, like, of course Superman would do that because he's Superman. But, like, as you said, the execution of it where we see them filming Superman instead of seeing, like, the kid filming it on his phone. Like, yeah, the execution of it along with the CG mustache upper lip.
Oh,
it's
God.
just horrible.
Ugh.
Like, yeah, like the kid's gonna put this on World Star or look, Instagram, Snapchat, hashtag Superman. Like, fuck off. Fuck off.
But anyways, Superman ends up coming back to life, and it's like this big thing, and it's super dramatic. And Superman doesn't quite like understand what's going on at first, and
Right.
doesn't quite. He's like, "What the fuck? What is this? Where am I?" And for some reason, he doesn't have his memories. For some reason, I don't fucking know.
Because he was technically just brought back.
He just
like,
kind
I
of looks
guess-
around like, what the fuck? And he sees like all these people around. They're like, whoa, he's there. And now again, this is another just massive improvement over the first one because like, oh god, in the Justice League they make like a couple of jokes and then fucking stroke mouth Superman just fucking starts beating the shit out of him until like fucking Lois Lane shows up.
Right, where in this one, it was the fight was a little more constructed to, which I know there was a couple of people that complained. It's like, why is he beating up everyone? Like, shouldn't Wonder Woman at least be the one to kick his ass? Well, she wasn't trying to kick his ass. She was trying to reason with him. So obviously she's holding back.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's Superman. Superman easily can beat her. Yeah, don't come at me, fake ass feminist. It's true. It's true, he can beat her, but she wasn't trying to. She was just trying to talk to him.
Yeah, she was trying to, like, basically tell him to snap out of it.
Right. And then even the way, like, in this one versus the last one, where she screams Kal-El no.
Yes.
It's not as bad as the first one. That first one, I'm like, huh?
No, this scene, like, this is the first, like, scene, comparison I saw where I was like, I've noticed, like, the subtle differences, like compared the Joss version and to the Snyder version, where she says Kal-El no, in the Whedon cut, it sounds like she's talking to a baby, like Kal-El no, compared to Snyder cut where she like sounds concerned and just like Kal-El no, like
right. I'm like, yeah, because
like
she would call
up.
him by his birth name. That was fine, but the way she said it in the Josh's League version, I'm like, why does it sound like a porn parody? Like her acting is better than that. What the fuck? I was so happy to realize that was in the reshoots. That wasn't Zack's doing. I was like, okay, thank God.
Oh
Fuck
my lord.
my life.
Yeah, because I would have been like, really, Snyder, like, come on. But thank God, like, he didn't put that in her. It was Wheaton's bitch ass that made her sound like she's talking to a fucking toddler, or as Carlton said, like something from a porn video.
I mean, I there is the thing that I think is a little weird. His like Cyborg's technology starts like being weird, and he's like, "Oh, something's wrong," and they're like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I don't know," and then they start fighting, and it's pretty intense.
Cyborg stuff can sense danger.
Well, yeah, it's explained why, and I get that, but I mean, I just think it's kind of funny.
It's like it's basically it's like his technology was going, we're about to get fucked up. Y'all just don't know it yet. It was like I can't control it. Like my shit is ready to blast him. And then once he gets blasted, Superman's like, all right, it's on.
Yeah, Superman's just like, oh, a challenge, and he starts just beating everybody up, and you're just like, oh no, this is not good. And it's like, oh god, let's not get it. We don't need Nightmare just yet. And they
in one unnecessary scene that Whedon added, which pissed me the hell off, and it just underutilized Barry Allen's character even more. The line where he said "Pet Cemetery," nowhere to be seen in the Snyder Cut.
Oh, thank you. I actually forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
He did say something about Pet Cemetery when they were in the thing earlier. I'm like, where the fuck? Okay, we get it. You like Pet Cemetery. The fuck does that guy do with this?
Nothing. God, that scene makes me angry because
I'm like, I like Pet Cemetery. Don't disrespect Pet Cemetery by trying to put that as a joke in this shit. The fuck?
Pet Cemetery. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
So Batman comes. I just love, there's a certain gooberness with Ben Affleck at times. I love how he just like walks casually into the whole affair, and he's just like, "Oh, go back there, soldier." It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
He's used to this, probably.
He's like, what the hell is this? And Superman just like comes over and just starts beating the fuck out of him. And you're just like, oh man, damn.
And another scene that they completely removed in the Whedon version, where Cyborg saves the police and he says, "You should probably move."
Yes, and I hated that they got rid of that from the trailer. Because
when I watched the original, I was like, "Where's that scene at?" Because it was in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Where's that scene at?"
And I don't remember if I said this last week, but like, you guys remember who plays the police officer in that scene, right?
Yeah, isn't it Jimmy Olsen from the original Superman movies?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I didn't know that until Carlton told me. I'm like, oh wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, they got 2 former Superman actors in this. Well, in the trilogy, because like in Man of Steel, one of the soldiers is the actor who played Baby Clark in 1978 Superman, and then in this they got Jimmy Olsen in it. I'm like, that is pretty darn clever. And like, also, I don't know if y'all noticed, the senator that was in The Dark Knight that Joker almost slashed up, saying we're not intimidated by thugs.
Oh yeah. I think it's Patrick Leahy.
Superman.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's a big Batman fan.
Before he gets obliterated, before Granny's PhD, you can see him for a second. So I thought that was pretty cool that they show other actors from like other movies or whatever in this as a homage. Like, see, that's pretty clever for Zack.
It is.
But going back to Batman, where he doesn't say, "Yep, something's definitely bleeding now."
God. Jesus Christ.
To live with this for 4 years, so I'm gonna make y'all relive this shit. Like, bleeding now. Oh god.
I like how Superman doesn't even say anything in this scene. It's almost like he's an animal, that sounds bad. It's almost like It's almost like he's a. I don't want to say animal because that sounds bad.
Like a mindless, a mindless monster or a rage-driven monster. I don't know.
That sounds worse.
I mean, look, you're fucked either way. Like,
it's like a more instinct-driven animal where it's like it's in defense mode.
Okay, yeah, we'll say that.
He's like a puma in defense mode, and he just starts wrecking everybody. And Batman's just like, Clark, you gotta stop this. And he just starts he flings him against the police car, and he ends up zapping him, and he ends up using those things that Alfred made for him. He's like, oh, they work. Or is that later?
Yeah, and it makes more sense that Superman doesn't say anything because in the Whedon cut, it made absolutely no sense why why there was any dialogue in there.
It's like, if Clark doesn't remember, then why the fuck would he remember that? Because it's like, dude...
Like, if he remembers
it made no sense.
If he remembers that Batman told him that, he should remember, we worked together before I died in the last one.
He's like, oh yeah, there was that Martha oh, yes. Sorry, Batman.
Oh, shit, my bad. Damn it, I almost snapped your shit. You should have said something earlier. Like,
I was trying.
Like, how the hell are you? Just trying to bring you back from the dead. Oh, cool. Appreciate it, bro.
And then Lois Lane ends up showing up and sees Clark. And this is actually kind of nice because I remember in BVS, in one of the scenes, I was like, did they really need to put that in there? Where Flash is like, Lois Lane, she's the key, or whatever the hell he says. And I'm like,
she's the key, find her.
And then when she sees him and he kind of flickers, I'm like, so that's what that meant. Okay, I'm like, oh.
Instead of just like them just saying it like, oh, Lois is the key. Oh, Alfred, I need the big guns.
Yeah, in their defense, Brit and I told you this shit for like the last 2 years.
Oh yeah.
There was a reason. Like, there was a reason that was in there, but she was like, I just don't see it. I'm like, you will.
And you know, when I see it in the Snyder Cut, I'm like, okay, it makes more sense now. I'm like, okay, all right, that's fair.
Yeah, I like the scene because I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that thought this, but I thought like, you know how Bruce Banner, like when he's Hulk, Betty comes along and like calms him down.
Yeah, Betty's his.
It was like that, but it was like it was a little bit more endearing in this one, more gentle, because. Like, I don't know. Just for me, I just like the fact that he just lets her, like, grab onto him, like, so lovingly. And it's like the touch brings everything back. Like, her touch just makes everything okay. And she has that trust, knowing that, like, he's going to, like, fly up. But she has that trust that when he grabs onto her, they're going to fly. Like, when, in BVS, when the guy had the gun to her head, she puts her hands down because she's putting her trust in Superman because she knows, I'm okay, I'm safe. Like, it was kind of like that moment, but more heartfelt.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Flash and Aquaman, those two together. Like, as much as I don't like Peacemaker, their cameo and their interaction, I love. Because Flash accidentally sped into Arthur, making ass go crashing into stairs. And Arthur's looking at you like, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Harry's like, my bad, bro.
Yeah, it's really funny when he, like, points his finger like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass later. And he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Give us more of Barry and Arthur interacting, because those two are amazing together.
Like, those two are fighting. Diana has a big-ass headache because Superman done headbutted her.
Oh, yeah, he fucking...
Headbutted her tiara.
He nailed her. Like, I'm surprised she didn't get a concussion or, like, fucking brain damage from that. You're like, God, it was fucking... He just, like, boom! Like, he knocked her in the next Tuesday, as they say.
Like, he basically fucked her into the cement with his head.
I mean, you know, of course, Diana is not a regular human, but if that were a regular human, she probably would have died.
Right.
Oh, like, she would have died. Not probably, she would have died.
She's an Amazon mate, and she's the daughter of Zeus. Yeah, that's the only reason why you're still breathing.
The only reason why she's not like an Invincible, where she's just fucking, her brains are all over the place. Ugh.
Like, Diana, you alright? I got a slight headache, but other than that, I'm cool.
I'm surprised you couldn't go like, oh, what day is it? Or is that too jossy?
Oh, no, that would have been too joshy. Like, I don't even think, like she's been around for 5,000 years, but even she's like, nah, that shit's corny. No one says that anymore. No one says that anymore. She's very good.
Lois arrives, and she ends up, like, calming him down. And then, once again, I mean, luckily this isn't the drunk edition. I would have been fucking chugging on that Jack Daniels by this point. But,
on the floor.
Clark ends up doing the Goku pew off the ground. Again. He loves doing that for some reason. You know, Zach must have watched a shitload of Dragon Ball Z before he started his DC movies.
Damn it, I was gonna say that. Because, you know, he's been asked if he would do Dragon Ball Z. He said he's not against the idea. I'm like, yes.
I think he'd fit, because, I mean, he gets to Goku just fucking gets off the ground. Like, he nailed that.
Right.
Like,
the Mockingbird, his wife calls the Mockingbird effect, where they zoom in at one place, then they zoom at another at such a high speed. I'm like, that's exactly Dragon Ball. That's literally Dragon Ball Z. Yes. I want to see a 4-hour movie of Dragon Ball Z by Zack Snyder. God damn it. I'm so hard. It's like a movie of Superman.
He's like, oh, yes.
I'm sorry.
No, but are you talking about the other movie? I remember seeing that in theaters. Like, I have, like, vague memories of it.
What, of Man of Steel?
No, the Dragon Ball movie.
Oh, fuck that. No. That's Dragon Ball Evolution. We don't talk about that.
You know what? I don't blame you.
Ever again, Britain.
That's in the same pile of Fantastic Four, Fan 4 shit.
Justice League.
Yeah, that's officially that's what it's called. Fan 4 shit.
Oh God.
What's another one that was horrible?
Last Airbender.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know, here's a funny story about that movie. I saw it before I ever saw the show. Like, I didn't grow up watching it. And then, like, I'm like, oh, this is fun. And then I end up seeing the show later. And then I saw the movie. And I'm like, God, this movie's horrible in comparison to this TV show. Now I see why everyone hates it.
Yeah, I never seen the show until last year. I always knew about it. But my friend Luke was like, you gotta watch it. I ended up watching all 3 seasons in one night. And
Oh, it's incredible.
I didn't have any more. I was mad I didn't have any more episodes to watch. I'm like, fuck. And now the creators are making a new series because they were going to make a live action one, but the new people wanted to make it kind of like Game of Thrones-ish with nudity and with white folks, and the creators were like, no. So the creators end up winning that argument, and now they took over, so now they're going to do a live action version of the show, basically, but they want to do it true to what the fans know. I'm like, yeah, give me more, because I need more Aang. I need more, the katana, earth, water, fire. Not that abortion that we saw in theaters.
Yesterday I was playing D&D with Tig, and I was like, oh, yes, and everything was going fine, and then he just fucking just says, and then the Fire Nation attacked. I'm like, you fucker! I'm like, ah! He loves saying that. I'm like, you fuck!
Mm-hmm. That's a straight up meme.
No, I mean, it's fine. I love Tig. But it's like, man, come on. Being serious here. He's like, okay, I won't say it anymore. He had to mute himself because he was fucking laughing his ass off. I'm like, you jerk. But no. So Lois, and they end up flying all the way to Smallville. And you know what? I really like the scene when she comes out of the house and she's like, hey Clark, what's up? And he just has that smile. I'm like, oh, what is this? Superman? Oh.
It's not CGI.
Oh, finally. Oh, it's not.
Yeah, you mean when they basically illegally break into the house?
Yeah, they illegally break in the house. And they break in the house, and then she sees him in the field, and he's smiling, he has his memories back. I'm like, oh, is this Superman? Finally? Oh, there's Superman. It's when I think of Superman, I think of warmth and optimism and, all the good traits in all of us. That's who Superman is to me. And I'm like, yes, they finally got it. Yes, that.
Because here's, people don't realize, Zack knew what he was doing the entire time. He's in order to get to that warmth, he had to go through some shit. This is a Superman that exists in a real world where politics are going to factor, people's moral codes are going to factor, the whole, can we trust him and all that other shit. That goes into it. But a lot of people don't want to see that. But you can't, heroes are not always happy all the damn time. Do you think Dick Grayson was always happy?
Well, no. I mean, he left Batman after a while, so no.
So, even in the animated series, he was like, fuck this shit, and he punched out Batman and said, fuck you, I'm sick of this shit. So everyone goes through their shit, but, he knew, we gotta get to that. We gotta, have all the time to explore that and earn that.
I will say my favorite part of the Superman animated show is when, I think it's the final episode, actually, when he confronts Darkseid, finally. And, I mean, if there's, Superman, there's no one he, dislikes. Not Darkseid. He, if there was ever someone that Superman hated beyond any measure of the imagination, it's Darkseid. He doesn't hate Lex Luthor. I don't think he hates Brainiac, but I don't know. It's Darkseid just, I don't know, just unlocks all these darker emotions inside of him.
Yeah, Darkseid controlled him, killed Dan Turpin. You saw in the Justice League animated series, he was ready to fuck up the entire Watchtower just to get to Darkseid.
Oh,
Batman
yeah.
was
And when
stop this nigga, he about to fuck us out of orbit. Grab him.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene when he finally just starts wailing on Darkseid, and he's like, maybe later, and then he disappears. Anyway, but I'm like, oh yes, Superman.
So yeah, we see Oh yeah, we almost skipped over a big part.
Oh.
After we see Steppenwolf invade Star Labs.
Oh yeah, he does
This
get
scene
attracted
alone.
to. Oh yeah, Steppenwolf is attracted to the. Ow! Hey, sorry, my cat bit me.
Pussy. Cat.
Anyway, ends up being attracted, and then like Steppenwolf just randomly shows up and just starts brutally murdering all of these cops. I laugh, but it's like it's so random. He just like shows up. He's like, "Hello," and he just starts fucking massacring everybody. And like the Justice League start fighting him as like an afterthought. To like, oh fuck, it's Steppenwolf, kill him.
Yeah, because when Superman came out, the mother box landed on someone's car, which I feel bad for the people that live in superhero worlds where their car gets fucked up and probably has no insurance. But it landed, and then Steppenwolf, the Dr. Silas grabs it and goes into the building, and because Steppenwolf can sense it, he's like, it was here. At first I didn't understand this, that Silas was overheating the mother box. I'm thinking he's trying to destroy it at first. Then you see Steppenwolf coming in, fucking up shit. He's like, "Where's my mother box?" He's like, "In here, bitch." And Victor comes down and tries to stop him, but then he looks back and realizes what Silas is getting ready to do.
He's like, "Dad, no!"
I knew what was coming, but my heart still was dropping into my gut. I was like, no. Like Cleveland, no.
He falls out of the bathtub.
God dang it. So I knew it was coming, but I was still like, fuck, not like this. And it happens, and I get a flashback PTSD of when Dr. Manhattan got his shit blown up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean when he, like, blows all those people up and everyone's like, oh!
No, when he became
oh,
Manhattan.
Yeah, when he, like, shows up.
When he went to go to get his bitch-ass watch that easily he could have gotten after.
Oh, yeah. That totally didn't cross my mind. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is kind of similar to that.
Because, like, it does make it a little reminiscent. I'm like, well, yeah. But this time it was, like, a lot more sad. And then Cyborg always gets fucked, like, hit like he's a rag doll. And, like, his shit be all contorted and fucked up. And, like in the Justice League, he got his shit ripped off. It's like, no one else thinks to rip up Batman or Flash. It's always Cyborg that they choose to dismember for some reason. I
don't know. It's probably because he's the token black guy. I don't know. Or well,
I don't know. I low-key feel like that. Like, is this not even a cyborg thing? Is this a race thing?
I don't know. It's yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Rip up the black person with the prosthetics or something. Like you racist. Steppenwolf. Cyborg lives matter.
Oh. Hey, so Jacob, what do you think of this?
Mind if I go back real quick? Because I wanted to mention this scene, but I was getting overtalked.
Oh, sorry, man.
So sorry.
All good. Bit frustrating, but all good. This one scene... yeah, okay. I'm going to try to be quick. No interruptions. This one scene, when I first saw the original version, was an immediate red flag because I knew Zack Snyder wouldn't put this shit in there because, like, Zack Snyder knows better. The scene where Batman is, like, trying to confront Superman and then Superman just bitch slaps him, compared to Snyder Cut, where in the badass way and the most appropriate way, Clark is just like, Clark, no, and then Superman just, like, uses his laser beams to attack, to, like, put Batman down, rather than just, like, bitch slapping him and giving this corny ass line. It's really cringeworthy line of "Tell me, do you bleed?" along with the horrible CG mustache and the horrible acting, which is definitely not Henry's fault. Whedon 100%, but the acting was horrible. Everything was horrible in that scene. And thank God, and definitely, and no dialogue, just very little lines like no Superman, no Clark, the world needs you, and no line where Batman says, "Oh yeah, something's definitely bleeding," which just underutilizes Batman's character even more so. Like if the characters weren't already underutilized enough in the Whedon cut, that line alone just underutilized Batman's character. Like God.
Right, I actually forgot that he does talk to him. He doesn't even say Superman. He says Clark. Like, he talks to him on a human level instead of, which that further goes into BVS, where he finally saw him as a human being, not as this monster alien that could destroy them. I actually did forget about that part, and he's trying to talk to him. But I think I was so, like, overwhelmed with the fact that they didn't do the shit that I saw in Whedon's cut. I glossed over that part when I first saw it. It wasn't until after I saw it later I realized, oh shit, yeah, Clark. Yeah, not Superman, not Kal-El, no, Clark.
Yeah, just Clark. But in the Snyder cut, like, he didn't even need to say anything. Like, he knew Superman would catch him. Like, even the way Superman looks at him is just like, oh shit, compared into the Whedon version where he just slowly turns to look at him. He's like, "Oh, I know you. Tell me, do you bleed?"
No,
nothing.
He sounds like he's about to fuck him. The way you put it, sounds like he's about to fuck him.
When he said that, I literally laughed because it was like so funny in all the worst ways possible. Tell me.
I had a stroke, I think, when I saw it. It was like my body twitched. Like, Superman about to rape bats, and there's nothing he can do. No lube, just straight up dry.
Yep, just straight up gonna dry hump you.
Not even a courtesy spit. Like, can you at least spit on it? Like, motherfucker.
No, just dry.
Have you seen? I don't know if any of y'all watch go on the darker part of YouTube, but there's this video on Team Fortress 2, and it's a parody of Toy Story, and Woody's like, "Oh, look there," and he just knocks out Buzz, and he just starts fucking dry humping him, and it's like Tom Hanks does this like fucking laugh. You're just like,
oh god, damn.
I don't know if you've seen that, but oh god, it'll ruin your childhood.
I'll never look at You Got a Friend in Me ever again, if that's the case.
Oh god, no, I'm not gonna watch that. If it's gonna ruin my childhood.
Yep, you got a friend in me.
Jeez. Yeah, it's like I said earlier. He's almost like a lion who's just reacting on instinct, you know.
Right. And it's funny that you mentioned the Superman. Bless you. That was my dog sneezing in the background. It's funny you mentioned the Superman scene when Lois is updating him on what's going on. It's a little homage, and it's subtle, but again, Zack is awesome at that. The red shirt that she gives him to wear, tell me where y'all recognize that shirt from.
Did he wear it in the first one?
In Zack Snyder's Justice League, when Lois gives him the red plaid shirt to wear, it's an homage to where in the first Superman film, when young Clark runs to his dad that has a heart attack.
Oh yes, I didn't even notice that.
It's a little Easter egg thing, but I kind of like that they did that. But again, Zack is just very subtle with this thing. He doesn't, it's like he treats the audience smart. He's like, they'll pick up on it.
Yeah,
I don't have to beat you in the head with it. You'll pick up on it. You'll pick up on whatever you want to pick up on in the film.
Yeah, that's the thing I really respect about Snyder is like he has all these Easter eggs in his films, but they're very subtle. It's not like, oh, here's an Easter egg for Bizarro. Here's a picture of Bizarro or something like that. No, it would have been something very subtle, like the cop where Cyborg saves like one of the actors of Batman or something like that, or the famous painting where Zack was as we mentioned, the famous painting in the tunnel scene, stuff like that. It's very subtle. It's not like, oh, in your face or something like that.
Right, because I think Jacob can agree to this, that I think a lot of the fans are used to the MCU having to, like, explain it
Yes.
and not let the audience pick up on stuff on their own. And that's where a lot of me personally, that's where I think a lot of the complaints come from with the DC movies, is that they're too smart for fans who have got too used to the Marvel films. Like, they don't realize Marvel and DC are two different people. They have different characters that aren't always kid friendly. DC films are a lot more structured, layered, or like everyone will always say, best movie since Dark Knight. Best movie since Dark Knight. I'm like, they've done other shit since Dark Knight, right? They did Joker.
Yeah.
They have, the Batman. They have Batman v Superman, Man of Steel. They have Watchmen. They have all these complex. They have V for Vendetta.
Yes.
Like, son of a bitch. They have so many other things that tackle, and not only that, but they tackle everyday politics or culture or whatever, but they do it in a smart way. And they don't just make changes for the sake of it. Like in Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi's dad in the comics is a racist motherfucker.
If I remember, it's like a racist stereotype. I don't.
Yeah, a racist stereotype, but he's also racist himself, and like how he perceives Americans and shit. They didn't want to do that. They were afraid to do that. Where over at DC, as we said last week, Jeff Johns made that comment about no one wants to see an angry black man, but DC's not afraid to like make minorities flawed, because we have a lot to be angry about. Because there was a dickhead I saw on Twitter today saying, I know y'all ain't telling me they changed Green Lantern to
my
black
god.
just for the sake of it. I'm like, bruh. They literally have Jon Stewart is literally an established character. Are you serious?
When I saw that on your Twitter, I got I wasn't mad, I was like, oh my god, this dude, that's a horrible take. Like, yeah, Jon Stewart's my favorite Green Lantern. Like, he was the first one I saw in the Justice League cartoon. He's my favorite Green Lantern.
A lot of people don't realize, like, when I grew up, I was like, I didn't know about Hal Jordan. And by that point, Jon Stewart had not been used in anything. Justice League animated series was the first time Jon was used in anything outside of comics. So that was a big step for him. Hal Jordan had already had the storyline where he is merged with the entity or whatever, the Spectre and all that shit. So he already was going through shit. Barry Allen, he was dead in the comics, so they went with Wally. So there was a lot that they were going with. But when I saw that on Twitter, I wish I did show it to Jacob so I could get his reaction on it before we started this, because I know he would have had shit to say. That they said, "Oh, there's no black Green Lantern." Like, are y'all high? You can't complain about that and be fine with Arthur Curry being recasted as a Polynesian man.
Yeah. Like,
or Martian Manhunter that literally shapeshifts into a black guy most of the time. I'm like, I really wish I showed Jacob, because like I know if I showed you that shit, you and I would have been on the same level of. Are you dense? Are you retarded?
Are you fucking kidding me? And you're not even gonna do Jon Stewart. In my opinion, like the OG. Like, I grew up with Jon Stewart. I didn't even know anything about Hal Jordan except for the Ryan Reynolds movie, which was not a good experience at all. But
oh my god! I think we all both know a guy named Jassim.
I don't recognize that name.
On Facebook, he posts a lot of opinions on comic books and how Marvel does it. Well, anyways, he's a cool dude. He had an opinion last night. He had talked to me about he revisited the Green Lantern film and said Ryan Reynolds would have been better as Guy Gardner. I said, don't you ever say Guy Gardner's name in my presence.
Well, you don't like Guy Gardner?
Ever.
That bold cut, red-headed stepchild dickwad.
You guys don't like Guy Gardner? I don't really have much of an opinion on this.
Fuck
him.
Fuck him. That's why Batman knocked his ass out with one punch. Twice.
Yeah, because he's a punk-ass bitch. That's what he is.
And yet, that's the guy that they casted last year in the Green Lantern show that has not had any updates in a year. the guy from American Horror Story, Finn Witchcott, is playing Guy Gardner in the Green Lantern limited series.
I'm out.
You know,
That's what I said. And Jeff Johns is producing it, and that's why Jeff Johns was actually mad that the Wayne T. Carr image of Green Lantern was released. Because the reason why he's not in Snyder Cut, Warner Brothers took him out because Johns was working on the show. So, and that made Zack almost quit. But he figured, fuck it, I'll just make that scene with Martian Manhunter instead. And it worked out. But he released, with permission from Warner Brothers, that image, and then the actor retweeted it. Full, finished CGI and everything.
oh man, I would love to see a live-action Jon Stewart Green Lantern. That would
We'll see it.
That would be awesome.
We'll see it. And on top of that, Kilowog was in the original cut.
Oh my god, yes.
And you can see Kilowog's body in that shot where the card is flowing out in the cyborg vision and Superman's floating. And you see like the Justice League banner, you see the card. Kilowog's body is somewhere in that shot, dead.
Oh.
Yeah, I immediately catch it. I was like, that's Kilowog, because I'm a big Green Lantern guy. I was like, that's Kilowog.
I actually got. It's funny we're talking about the Green Lanterns at the moment. I got this deal where I get DC shirts for a whole year, and the most recent one I got was a Green Lantern shirt.
Hey.
I'm like, if it has Jon Stewart on it, I'll wear it. Like, I was like, I'll do it. I like Green Lantern. It's just fine.
Of course.
But Jon Stewart, though, he's a fucking guy for me. I know everyone loves Hal Jordan. And don't get me wrong, Hal Jordan's great. I love DC The New Frontier. He's great in that. But Jon Stewart, I love him.
As much as I love Jon Stewart, my favorite has always been the one that I thought was a little underrepresented, Kyle Rayner.
Oh, yes. I love
Kyle Rayner.
Kyle needs more attention.
He's my second favorite.
This is how I ranked them. Hal, only because of he's got a little bit more seniority. That's the only reason why he's going before John. Him, John, Kyle. The new Green Lanterns, Jessica, Cruz, and Simon, and then Guy's bitch ass.
You guys really don't like Guy Gardner. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on this.
I can't stand him. No matter how you write him. Like, when he got his arm ripped off in Injustice, I was cheering.
Yeah, that put a smile on my face.
Oh my god.
Now take that arm and bitch slap his ass.
Oh my god.
Just fuck him. Fuck him.
With
Fuck
the
him.
arm.
God.
I again, I don't have much of an opinion on this, but I'm like, damn.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste it? Okay.
Don't waste your opinion on him. Your opinion is this. Fuck him. Moving on.
Yep,
what do you guys think about Alan Scott?
Way better.
Yeah, better.
Whether it's the gay version in the New 52 or it's the original one that Bob Kane's hand-me-down rebound design of Batman was recycled for, both of them are much more respected than Guy Gardner.
I'd rather take the horrible portrayal of Hal Jordan in the live-action version than Gal Gardner.
Because at least he did some stuff. He saved the day. The guy is just a dickwad. Like, you know what I remember of him? Putting his ass on the glass of the Watchtower and Batman commenting on how he needs to shave.
Yep.
I'm like, yep, that guy.
I'm loving this.
We hate Gal Gardner. Fuck him.
And his bitch has 90s haircut.
Oh man, I'm like the Emperor right now. I'm just like, yes, let the hate
flow. Oh my god, so I don't think, but here's the thing, because I have not heard an update on that in literally almost a year, I feel like it fell through. Because usually it doesn't take that long to hear an update on anything super related. Whether it's a script, whether it's a leaked image, whether it's casting. The fact that we're 2 weeks away from it meeting the anniversary since that casting, and that's the only casting we've ever gotten, I feel like it fell through. Because of the Zack Snyder stuff being restored, which if we have time, we'll talk about the delays later and why that's a good thing for the Snyderverse.
Mm-hmm.
But if that show doesn't happen, and we instead get Jon Stewart in the Justice League sequels, which I'm pretty sure is the case, that's a win.
I'd like to see it. At least Jon Stewart in the Justice League movies.
Exactly, because
if they have the Guy Gardner, then I'm out.
Oh no, there's no Guy Gardner in Snyder shit.
Thank God, because Snyder knows better.
Right, like he was like, no, I'll team up John with Hal before I do that.
Yep,
which is perfectly fine for me. But okay, let me digress from Guy Gardner and get back on track because I had a rant moment.
It's all right. So
we're talking about Lois, in the scene where she is Superman, and Steppenwolf. I'm sorry, we're still on Steppenwolf.
Mm-hmm.
After he takes the mother box, and then everyone comes in and they realize, oh God, Victor, you lost your dad. But then we realized that the dad was actually had a plan. He left something behind that he knew Cyborg would pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
The equation on the glass. When he realizes, he knew that it was going to be the hottest thing on Earth and that it could be tracked down by a satellite. And Batman's like, well, okay, yeah, I'll use my satellites to track it. And Barry's like, you have a satellite? And he's like, yeah, I have 6.
Yeah, it's like... that line I was kind of like, okay, fine, I'll give him that. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny.
That's that Bruce Wayne money. Like, how rich are you? I got 6 satellites there.
Yeah, and I really love Ray Fisher's acting in this scene. He's just like, he's devastated.
Oh yeah, that single tear that falls down from his face gets me every time.
It's beautiful. But then he's
not a good actor though, according to Joss Whedon. The Snyder Cut. He's a great actor. So fuck you.
Yeah, does more acting in that one scene than every time Josh tries to say something, I go back to that image behind the scenes when he's trying to imitate shooting a bow, but he looks like a little kid trying to tiptoe into the cookie jar.
Yeah.
That's the image of Josh summed up. Versus, someone even said when Josh Whedon films, and you have that image, but when Zack Snyder films, he looks like a badass shooting an arrow, muscles and tattoo and shit. I'm like, yup. Our Lord and Savior, Hail Snyder.
So they end up tracking the they end up getting into they end up getting into the ship. Isn't that the Flying Fox?
No, not yet.
Oh, no, not there?
They finally go to the Batcave.
Oh, yes.
And they meet Alfred.
Oh, yeah. And and Alfred's just like, oh, you brought friends? And he's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Alfred. I work for him, which I love that line.
Yeah.
I remember, that scene made me happy because I remember I showed, a year ago, I think, I showed you and I showed Jacob the leaked, undone footage of that. Before it was announced that the Snyder Cut was happening, I'm like, bruh, this is legit. I know when it's fake, this was real. And so to see it in this final form, I had to pause the movie right there to acknowledge, that's the thing I shared. Yup, and y'all said this wasn't real. Fuck y'all.
Yep.
Freaking Alfred is meeting Barry. Alfred is so cool. Aquaman's got to tell him he's a badass.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Bruce who actually talks to Cyborg about his dad, no, it's Diana. I forget who it was.
Yeah, and then Barry and Aquaman talk about him. They have a moment, and this was a good moment that Aquaman needed. Instead of the whole, Cyborg and Aquaman fighting, which was stupid, and then Barry saying, "Oh, I have to eat because my blood sugar gets a little low." Not that obnoxious scene, but instead it's traded with Barry saying, "I thought you didn't care," and Aquaman says, "I never said I did. Like I never said I didn't." Like it's serious. It's yeah. Barry's aiding in that scene, but he's delivering a scene where he's like, oh, like I thought you were, you didn't care about people. But Aquaman shows, yeah, I may be a brood or whatever, but I always do care. Especially when it came to the father aspect, because we know Aquaman would die for his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
AKA so Boba / Jango Fett.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, I like that scene a lot. I like that Diana and Bruce have a moment. And I'm not talking about when they were playing fingers with each other earlier, which we know they're gonna smash at some point. The moment where Bruce realizes that he's seen Barry in the Batcave before, it was like a premonition. That whole line.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much better than when in Josh's League, Diana and Bruce are sharing a moment where after Bruce gets his shit fucked up and he's stripping off some of his armor, it just looks better. And then like even in that scene, I could tell something wasn't right. Because first of all, the way they made an unnecessary undertone of Batman's undersuit to show that he was wearing armor. That's why he was okay with the car crashing into it. And then the bruise part, I'm like, no. This scene feels a little unnecessary. It's like you kind of did this just to show sexual tension between them, like he was trying to do with Hulk and Black Widow in Age of Ultron, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly how I felt about that scene. I was like, really? Ugh.
The only thing about that scene I liked was the scarf that Diana was rocking. That's about it.
The scene that I hate the most, and it's just this one little line from Batman. He says to Aquaman, "Do you talk to fish?"
Oh, God damn it.
God.
I was hoping we would forget about that.
Now,
I'll remind you.
Or look, do you talk to fish? They talk to me. Bitch, the fish don't talk, my niggas. I hate Jeff Johns now. When I used to love him, even he put in Aquaman's series, fish don't talk. They don't have a way to talk. I tell them what to do, they do it. Even he squashed that shit.
Yeah, I remember reading one of the Aquaman comics, and it's when Aquaman's cool again. And Aquaman just, like, goes and orders some fish. He's like, wait, aren't fish your friends? He's like, nah, man, fish are idiots. And he's all
I
like...
eat fish.
And he's all like, well, don't you talk to him? He's like, no, I can tell them what to do.
Like, oh my god, like, I love that comic. That alone, that and Batman were the best-selling things in the New 52. Because Aquaman was... At the beginning of that story, they thought he was a joke. But by the end of Throne of Atlantis, people were afraid of Aquaman. Like, yeah, I bet you would be if Atlantis almost sunk your whole shit.
Yep.
Oh. I'm sorry, I was just reminiscing about it.
No, it's okay. Then we get to the climax of the movie. I think this is, or was the last scene the climax of the movie. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, right after that moment that almost made me cry with Martha finally being reunited with Clark.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
Oh,
and like,
very touching.
Are you here, Ma? Like it's really me, Ma. Like the man that can literally kill everyone is a god. Still calls his mother Ma.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yes.
Superman deep down is a good person.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, finally, Superman. It's like, yes. I was texting Jacob this. I'm like, oh, yes. It took 3 movies, but they got it. Thank God. I'm like, oh yes. Or it took 4 movies actually.
No, 3.
Yeah.
Or well, you know what? Fine, 3 because we don't talk about the Justice League. We don't count.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, where Martha was talking about thirsty women or some bullshit.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
Like just. I'm sorry.
What do you think? Do you think this is the climax of the movie, Jacob, or do you think the last scene was the climax of the movie?
I think this is the climax.
Okay, I thought so.
I would say this whole entire thing from here all the way to the end was the climax because there was too much. Like it was like the biggest climax of anything. It may be long, but like the part where they suit up all the way to the movie ending, I consider that the climax.
I agree.
Because it was you can't get more climaxy than that. A porn star can't get more climaxy than that.
Yeah, and if we know Snyder, he's definitely going to give us a climax like this long, which is awesome.
I'll admit, one of my issues is the climax, because there's, like, a bunch of shit going on to the point where you're like, I don't know, what the fuck's going on here? I mean, I can understand, like, it's mostly you can understand what's going on, but then it becomes kind of, it's kind of or, what's the term?
Convoluted?
No, it's jarring, that's it. It is kind of jarring when, you know, he's like, Barry, do the thing, and he starts, like, fucking running back in time, and then Steppenwolf just fucking unceremoniously murders everybody, and you're like, what the fuck? What's this? And he goes back in time and does it. You're like, well, that was kind of dumb. But aside from that, I think the climax is pretty good. I enjoy the battle scene, even though Batman fucking just grabs a alien gun, just starts fucking shooting everybody.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Like,
well,
I have
at
no
least
problem. But I like the scene. I like the fact that after they first of all had a plan because they finally figured out, okay, we can do this. And Cyborg's like, if I can go inside the mother box once we do, you know, Barry creates enough speed and charges me up to get inside. So I'm like, all right, cool. Then, as we talked about the Flying Fox earlier, finally we can get to Flying Fox now. Cyborg fixed it and says, Bruce says, oh, you fixed it. He's like, yeah, it was meant to fly. And Bruce looks at him and says, so were you. And this part is the most memeable thing I've seen since the Snyder Cut on Facebook, where people talk about the Snyderverse, where Alfred asks, how do you know he'll show up? Like Superman, how do you know Superman will show up? Faith, Alfred. Faith. The one thing that Bruce has not acted on in years. If you're a Batman fan, you know Batman acts strictly on knowledge, being prepared, being a tactician. He does not. He's not someone who leaves it to faith or chance. So the fact that we're seeing that now shows you that he has had a big leap, a big arc since Batman v Superman. And I don't think. Well, actually, yeah, I would say that this maybe slightly oversees the first flight scene when Superman is walking in the Fortress of Solitude, the Kryptonian ship, and he sees the suit, and you can hear both his fathers in his mind, you know, Jor-El and Jonathan talking to him about flying, about being the bridge, everything that we've heard them say in this entire trilogy. That was the chef's kiss to seeing Superman officially back into the story and taking flight for the first time since coming back.
Yep.
Also, that black suit's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it's sexy as fuck. It was hard to defend that for like 2 weeks. So people who were like, why is he coming back in a black suit? I'm like, did y'all not read Death of Superman?
Like, just go read it.
Like, or people didn't realize, like, why has it got to be black? Even Zack had to put some knowledge on y'all. He said, well, first of all, it's a homage to that. Second of all, the color black, which this is true, the color black contains heat more than any other color in clothes.
Well, yeah.
And he's powered by the sun. So yeah, you damn right he's back in black for a reason.
Yep.
Like,
and
I'm
it's
trying
beautiful.
to be charged by. Yep. The music, Hans Zimmer. I don't care who you have him do. When he does the music for people, it's beautiful, especially Superman.
Oh yeah.
Anything he touches is magnificent.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dark Knight, awesome. I was actually telling Jacob this the other day. I saw The Last Samurai finally, and oh my god, I think the score was the best part of that movie.
I haven't seen it. Is it good?
I thought it was pretty good.
Because I
loved it.
I finally rewatched Dune the other day, and I was listening to the soundtrack.
Oh my god, the soundtrack to that movie's amazing.
I was like, bro, like when I didn't mind that a lot of the soundtrack was like 13 minutes long in each song because it wasn't boring. It was always adding something new every couple minutes that made it more dramatic. It's like I can see a scene as I'm listening to this music. Hans, you beloved sexy bastard, you.
Oh my god, and then when they get to the Wonder Woman fight, when she starts fighting, that fucking theme comes on, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes, the scene that they cut.
Oh.
Yes. They completely removed Aquaman and Cyborg from that scene and that line too, and I was so frustrated.
Because I thought about it like after I watched it. I'm like, wait a minute, did I see that? No, that wasn't in the original one. Oh, what the fuck? You dirty bitches. Oh, that's right. Y'all only did that strict 2-hour bullshit in the first one. You fucking ass clowns. And I'll keep saying, and you know what's funny? The guy that made that decision, that used to be the CEO of Warner Brothers, I said this. I said, you know what? I hope you get fired. After that movie came out, he had to resign because he was caught basically couch casting.
Oh my god.
He was promising underage girls movie roles to fuck him.
Ugh.
And they did. But then when he wasn't giving them roles, they screenshotted the text messages and plastered it all over social media.
Oh, that's just ugh.
Well, karma's a bitch, so there you go.
So was he.
Ugh.
Yep.
So he's been gone. I was like, yep, well, be careful what you wish for, huh?
Yeah, sayonara, pedophile piece of shit.
Ugh.
It was like, how the fuck? Like, even if they were legal age, still.
That's sleazy, man.
Yeah, it's still just like
wrong.
I mean, granted, I'm sure we've all thought about using our power against some, but not on a child.
No. Ugh.
Not on, like, if I look at you and I'm like, you're about this, if I say this, you're about the same age as my niece. She's too young. Or you could be my sister. No.
Hell no.
No.
No, you gotta have ID to get the D.
No, if I had superpowers and I wanted to get some, I would search for a MILF.
I'm like, how old are you? Older than you. It's legal.
Yep.
Juliana Moore, like, yeah. No.
Exactly.
So after that, and fucking Wonder Woman with that fucking theme. Ugh, so good. Love that theme.
Yeah. Every time her theme came on, I'm like, I'm about to start screaming like this woman in the background in orgasm.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Jacob?
There's one shot of this, and it's a like a 5-second slow mo scene. No drink for Britain this time. We see the Justice League together. Batman's in a Batmobile, and it's this incredible slow-mo shot. And it's so gorgeous.
I forgot about that. Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then after, in the original one, I don't know why they keep saying original, but in the Ass League, there we go. I was Just Ass League. Batman, doesn't give him a speech like, you stick to the plan, that's why I brought you together. Like, he looks at them, proudly. But in Just Ass League, he's just like, look, just get the job done. As like a dick. And like, he goes into the battle with the intention, I guess, dying. And they have this horribly written exposition on trying to save him or whatever. And then they, the parademons are fucking up the Batmobile and shit. But in Zack Snyder's version, you see him actually break through the barrier wall. You see him have a moment where he comes down from the cockpit, and when he lands, that cape just wraps around him, cape flapping. He turns the light off, and the parademons break in. All you see is the Batmobile basically come to life and then blast their asses. It's like, if you can't do a good Batmobile reveal scene, you shouldn't do anything Batman related.
Or anything superhero related. Right.
Because I got that scene, and I got the scene from Pattinson's Batman, where the Batmobile comes alive like it's Christine damn near.
Oh my god.
You forget about the Batmobile until it's revealed. You're like, oh shit.
Can I go on a side tangent real quick? You guys might know this, or for those who don't, I fucking love 70s muscle cars. Like, I have a fucking calendar over there that are filled with them. And the new Batmobile is basically a beefed up old 70s muscle car, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
God.
god.
You were gushing. That to me about it, Brit. You were like, "Oh, I love the muscle '70s car, the Batmobile and the Batman." Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I can't even remember. Like, when I showed you the picture, I don't know if that was the first time you had seen it, or you had just seen it before I shared it with you. But I remember you were gushing so hard, I thought you were gonna bust through the phone.
yeah.
Leak out of my phone because
Probably.
you were so excited.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. The though Batmobile in this is pretty cool too. You just fucking
and it's like people are naturally gonna have to rank Batmobiles. For me, Ben is pretty much up there. Pattinson is a close second, only because Ben's can do a little bit more. But I like Bale's Batmobile, but for me, it feels too clunky. It feels too heavy. It feels like it wouldn't maneuver the way I need to. I need something that can like drift better. I need something that's a little bit more sleek and I can manipulate and move more. That Batmobile, it would just tear up everything.
Oh, I love the design of the tumbler, but yeah, it's a fucking tank, dude. Like,
yeah, it's a tank straight up. But Ben's Batman, like, it can go in the battle, but it can also maneuver at the same time. It's super quick and super what's the word? Super functional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like even Keaton's dildo Batmobile works better. Like, I'm sorry, it looks like an electric dildo.
It's
even
funny.
it can split and go into tight corners. Even that's more functional. And for the longest time, I liked Val Kilmer's Batmobile because I used to have it as a kid. That one can at least go up a wall. It's got cables. It can detach stuff. The fucking Batmobile tumbler, all it could do was crash into shit and shoot out a bicycle.
That's it. It was just a tank. Like,
don't forget sorry.
The sex toy Batmobile and Batman and Robin can do more than the tumbler.
Oh yeah, don't forget the immortal Hi Freeze. I'm Batman.
Oh fuck me. Oh fuck me.
Hi Freeze. I'm Batman.
God.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
I swear to God, if we get Freeze in the Pattinson sequel, no ice puns.
Oh God, no.
No.
But then again,
if they do,
Reeves, I'm sorry. If Reeves, you go first.
Okay. If they do decide to have Freeze in the Pattinson universe, make him the way they did in the Batman cartoon series. The Batman.
And I thought about if Reeves is gonna come back and do it, I trust his writing that the puns will not feel like puns, but will feel more like poetry almost.
Yes.
If you can do it like that, okay, I can get with that.
I mean, you already have a good roadmap with the animated series, Just
right. Like, if you take him where, like, because even Arkham Origins did Freeze in the DLC better.
Yes.
Because he was like, he was a one-tracked man. Do what I need to save my wife. Nothing else mattered. Or when he made the cold and hot comparison, he would say like, it would, if I still had tears to cry, I would be crying. Or, your threats mean nothing to me, to a man who has lost everything. Or, I want her to feel the warmth of my hand in hers, but now my blood is cold as whatever he wants to compare it to. It all came off as emotional, angry monologues.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, like, I feel your pain. That's how you should do Freeze.
Yes.
Not ice you later, or
we'll kill the dinosaurs.
Oh my God.
I swear to God.
We gotta talk about Batman and Robin one of these days.
Don't have Don't have me on there, because 40 minutes.
Oh, we're bringing you on there. It's gonna be 40
fun. 40 minutes will be me ranting about how they did my boy Bane. That alone is why I hate.
Oh God.
God. The way they did Bane, making him a midget monster. And I love Bane. He's my second favorite Batman villain. The way they disrespected him.
I'm like, like they completely took away the magic of Bane's character. The whole thing is he is brawn and brain. He broke the Bat, not just physically, but he broke him psychologically. It's like, dude.
You did the Venom part, but you made him into a dumbass toddler.
Into a monster.
Yeah. And then look, who's Bane? Oh, some skinny meth head looking dude that was in prison.
Yes.
That we experimented on. I said, who the fuck do you think you are?
Like, the writers did not know what Bane was. Like, Bane is this, like, as Britton said, he is Batman's, like, his most threatening villain, both intellectually and physically. Like, Bane is one of Batman's most intelligent villains. He's articulate, he's smart, and he's cunning. Like, he has a photographic memory, and he knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. But no, they completely threw that part of Bane away and made him a midget green monster. God.
It's like, and that's his debut. What a shitty way to have a fucking debut.
You know, I'll give it this. Dark Knight Rises, I have problems with that movie, but they did fucking nail Bane. At least the character, anyway. Or at least
Yeah, until they kill him off.
Well, yeah, that was kind of lame. But aside from that, that was pretty lame. That was actually quite lame.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But aside from that, I think they did a better job in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, because at least with The Dark Knight Rises, I can say that I was intimidated by Bane. Bane came off as very wise, very cunning, very sinister, and at least gave me a better, like, the line itself, when Gotham's ashes, then you have my permission to die. But basically saying, you're not allowed to die yet, not until I've taken everything from you. Then after that, you can perish if you wish.
And you bring Tom Hardy on, who's an amazing actor.
Oh, yeah. That's where I first discovered him.
What was the first thing I saw him in? Oh God, I think it was something else that he did right before Dark Knight Rises. Lawless. That was the first thing I saw.
Oh yeah.
That was the first thing I saw him in. I liked him in that. Then I saw him in something else where he was a underground fighter or something in like the 1940s or whatever.
Oh.
But then I ended up seeing.
That's.
Yes.
I love Bronson. I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah, I saw him in Peaky Blinders. I saw him in the movie where he played the twin gangsters.
Oh man, I just need to see that too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
What's that called?
Legend, I think.
Legend, yeah, that's what it's called.
Yes. Like, he's so diverse and versatile. I'm like, no wonder Nolan chose him.
Yeah, because he's a phenomenal actor. Like, him and Christian Bale, like, they're one of the very few actors, like, every time they're in a film, they just disappear in a role.
I'm like, you forget. Like, Christian Bale's like, look, I will make myself fat to play Dick Cheney, okay?
That's how committed I am.
I will literally starve myself for the Machinist.
Yeah, and also, I'm gonna be fucking Patrick Bateman. I hope he didn't actually kill anybody during the making of American Psycho. That would be concerning.
They better use him right in Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not gonna watch it, but I better hear that he did good. That sounds like that is a porn parody. You can't convince me otherwise. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that does. I didn't think of that. Yes, it does kind of sound like a porno.
So I will say, I actually dare Carlton to watch it because I just want to hear him go off on that film.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I will force you to watch it. Mark my words, because I want to hear you go off on it.
You for a second, dick, because I ain't watching that shit. If like the fate of the world was dependent on me watching it, we all gonna die.
If I have to drive all the way to Georgia to force you to watch Love and Thunder, then I'll do that because I want to hear you go off on it.
Fuck you won't. Because it's bad enough I saw Ragnarok.
Oh, jeez.
It's bad enough I saw that shit. The only thing from that I liked was Hela, who was a badass, who for some reason I have a boner for, and then Doctor Strange's cameo. That was it.
Oh, had to stretch there. All right, we're getting off track.
Okay, I'm sorry, but yes, to the scene where the league comes together and they're fighting, and Batman pretty much ejects out of the Batmobile, fucking it up, and is doing some work. Wonder Woman killing, slicing niggas. Steppenwolf versus Cyborg, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman, and he's still talking shit about the Amazons getting under his skin a little bit, but the slow motion shot where she jumps over him and you see her sword hit his axe, that is it. I love pretty much everything Wonder Woman did fighting wise in this movie was a show stealer.
It was flawless.
Very flawless. Then you had her backup singers backing her up. That was awesome.
Hell yeah.
So, let me see. Flash was doing his thing, trying to rewind stuff, and a bunch of stuff happens. Batman does some parademons fighting, which I'm mad that they took out that. There was supposed to be a parademon's nest, but Warner Brothers again thought that was too scary for them to do.
I still can't get over that.
So Zack never got the chance to film that. Because in the original scene, this is what was supposed to happen. He lands, and he kills one of the parademons with their guns. There's a whole nest. It looked like, and Zack had described it as something that looks like something from Alien.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds to me like the eggs from Alien.
Yeah,
Aliens.
That's basically what it was, that the demons were going to form out of, and he was going to use something to blow that up. But Wonder Woman helps him before that. Like, they have a quick team-up thing and kind of, like, flirt with each other's eyes in a way, but they're still focused on the mission. But it was supposed to be, like, really, really, really cool. And then there was supposed to be this big-ass, queen-size looking parademon. But that whole sequence that Zack wanted to do, they never filmed it. So they did where Batman is using their weapons to, like, blast them. I was like, fuck you, Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, he grabs, I love how he just grabs a gun and just starts shooting him, and I'm like, you know what, I get mad, but this is entertaining, so I'll keep watching it.
I was like, I knew someone was going to be like, Batman doesn't use guns. I'm like, yes, he does.
Well, he has used guns. He just doesn't like using guns.
Like, he's really, like, when he first was created, he used to shoot people. Even in The Dark Knight Returns, he doesn't kill anyone with a gun, obviously, but he does use a gun to execute something. Whether it's blowing up a bomb that he set up to get away, whether it's to a rifle to do a tight walk on, or he did shoot the hand of one of the mutants to make them drop their gun so he can only headbutt, like, use the butt of the gun to knock them out and then catch the baby. So he used the gun technically, he just didn't use it to kill anyone. So he does use guns in a sense, but people feel like he never, ever, ever, ever uses it. I'm like, no. Look, Batman's like, look, I ain't got time for this shit. These are parademons, they're alien. What you want me to do? I only have so many batarangs I can throw.
I mean, then it gets to the part where I think is kind of jarring, is where Victor's trying to separate the boxes, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm sure they'll get it done. And then, like, the unity, that thing they're trying to, like, prevent from happening, that ends up, like, forming, and then fucking Steppenwolf just kills everybody, and you're just like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, that scares you at first, and I forgot that was in there, because before the movie came out, I knew that plot leaked. That plot of it came out, that they actually failed the first time. Because I forgot about that, because all I was seeing was Superman, who I forgot to say earlier, has a moment with Alfred, which that was the only thing that they put in the Justice League that was in this. What they said, and here's included a bonus scene that you didn't see. And I'm like, bitch, y'all have a whole bonus movie that we didn't see, but whatever.
I think Jacob was trying to say something.
Oh, no.
So Superman comes along, and easily, without any real effort, basically fucks Steppenwolf. He rips off his horn. They basically double teamed his ass. Superman punches him into a wall. The music is so freaking good. We'll keep saying it, but the music in this scene particularly, it is hype. It's like it makes you want to fly around and start punching stuff because you're that hyped up.
It does. Oh, I also love Superman's line, not impressed.
Oh, yeah. Jacob has been quoting that all year, ever since that came out.
I even incorporate that line in a test script for Star Trek.
Yeah, I picked up on that. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, what? I laughed for a second, not because I thought it was a bad line. I just thought because that is something that Star Trek, it would work. But I'm like, okay, I see. And I said, I messaged him like, did you just Superman him? He was like, with all confidence in the world, he was like, yeah. But I didn't mind. That's a cool line, and I like that.
It's so cool.
Like,
yeah, but then Barry breaks his rule. He breaks his rule, and I'm like, is it time? I asked Carlton, I'm like, isn't it time travel? Is that what his rule is? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because we all know from the fucking CW what he does when he does time travel shit.
It tends to go badly.
Mm-hmm.
We do not speak of that show on here.
Oh, come on. The first season was really good.
No, the first 2 seasons
they were
top
fine,
tier.
But the rest was shit.
I haven't seen any since, what was the season where it had Cicada in it? Was that season 5?
I don't even know. I stopped watching after season 3.
Because season 3 had the Tinkerer whatever guy. Because they wanted a villain that was not a super speed guy. Don Von whatever the fuck his name is. Who gives a fuck? No, season 5. Yes, no. Season 4 is when I stopped. Season 4 is when they did Cicada, which is, a bug or whatever. It was this person that was stealing metahumans' powers. No.
Yeah.
No. That was I'm sorry. Season 3 was the Godspeed.
Saboteur?
Or Speed Killer. It was Evil Barry. I can't remember what his name was. Shit.
I think it was Saboteur or something like that.
Saboteur, there you go. That's right. Who in the comics is not even a speedster, but whatever. That was season 3. The Thinker guy was season 4. Season 5 was Cicada. That's when I stopped. And I didn't even finish watching season 5.
Yeah, it just became kind of soap opera-y, and not in the good way.
I'm like, if I have to hear one more Run Barry Run speech, I'm going to blow my brains out.
Or if I have to hear We Are Flash again.
Fuck you. We could have gone all day without you bringing that shit up.
Oh my god.
Too late. I already did.
If I was Barry, I would say to her, no, bitch, I'm Flash. I don't see your ass running. You report the news. I am the news. That's how this arrangement is.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
I don't see you with no super speed powers.
Yeah, we are the Flash my ass. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
That line almost single-handedly ended the show.
Oh my god. Oh, did you guys see Batwoman?
Okay, here's the thing.
That shit.
Oh god.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Let me say this. Y'all both know I love Ruby Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In my heart. I know she's a lesbian, but in my heart, she's wifey.
Yeah, I know.
Everything was fine when she was on board. When she left, I stopped giving a fuck.
Oh my god. When I heard it'll look better with a woman in it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking stupid. I'm not watching this.
No, here's the thing. She left because, well, for one, she hurt herself, and the producers were like not giving a fuck about her health. So she said, fuck y'all, and she left. So I was like, kudos to you because your health is more important. But here's my thing. This is how I knew the show had gotten bad. When the Batgirl movie got announced, people thought it was the same one, and they were not excited for it. I had to tell my friends, no, you're thinking of Batwoman. You're thinking of the abortion on CW. This is Batgirl, who everyone likes. They were like, oh, yes. Okay, never mind. Okay, then I'll watch it then. Like, no, It's not the one where they not only recasted her, but then they recasted her as a woman of color because they want to make a point, which CW loves doing.
Which is is just stupid and pointless.
No. Here's my thing. When she quit, y'all should have just canceled the show. You could have replaced that time slot with Booster Gold or with Blue Beetle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, there's other characters you can mess with in the DC universe.
Or Vixen. Y'all already established her. You gave her an animated quick thing on a web series. You could have actually given her a full-fledged show.
Or Constantine. You could have brought in Constantine back. Matt Ryan is great in the role.
Exactly.
Easily, you could have done it. And if you were like, well, it's too demonic or whatever for CW. CW has gotten away with a lot of shit that's NBC wouldn't do. That's why, and when he did the first crossover with Arrow, he scratched his ass with the peacock feather. That was them saying F NBC because their logo is a peacock. So he was saying to them, "Kiss my ass."
Wow.
But
We're getting on another tangent.
but yeah, on the Flash, I had said it was time travel because Zack is good at establishing that these heroes have been active for a little bit. Barry's not been around for years. He's been around for I think maybe 2 years, something like that, long enough to know that he did something with time once and knew he couldn't do that again, so he made a rule for himself to not do it again. But when Superman was fuck up Steppenwolf and the punk ass Parademon got a lucky shot in and shot him in the leg, and Batman shot his brains out. Rest in peace, Gary. I was like, which I love how Ezra portrayed that he was in pain.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Was so good. I love that because like drool was coming down from his lip, tears was his eyes. He's still trying to soldier on because he knows he can't let the team down. It was like a kid who's like, I don't want to let my boss down, like my mentor down. I felt his fear in that moment. And then when everything just hit the fan and you see Darkseid, I was like, no. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck is Darkseid doing? Like, the anti-life equation. But what the fuck? He just like shows up and he's standing there, and you're like, okay. But I digress.
I'm gonna get my reward, but I just want y'all to die first.
Oh, I thought you were talking to us. I'm like, rude.
Oh no, I'm not that mean. Shit.
I was confused for a minute, but I'm like, oh, he's talking about the movie. Okay. What were you saying, Jacob?
Back to the time travel scene. I was going to talk about this because this is where Barry time travels. This is my favorite scene of the whole movie because, it's in my opinion, it's one of Zack Snyder's most perfect scenes ever. Just from the music, Barry's art, the cinematography, the effects, the stakes, it's all so good. Everything about it is just perfection. And I also love the transition from Flash's emotional climax to Cyborg's Cyborg. It made my jaw drop. Like, that is pure storytelling, perfect transition from one grandiose character arc resolution right into another. Out of everything Zack Snyder has ever directed, these two scenes in their merging is one of the best things he has ever done, in my opinion.
Oh, without a doubt. I think this is up there. I think y'all both can agree. This would be up there, like, with Superman's first flight, Batman's warehouse fight, Wonder Woman's fight in Wonder Woman, and then Flash gets to have this moment. I think this qualifies.
Yeah, this Flash's time to shine.
100% agree.
And now it's an Oscar-nominated scene. Fuck yes.
Hell yeah. It deserves a nomination. 100%. It's such a moving scene. Like, it's phenomenal. It's my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Like, it's all right now. And you're like, it will be Barry. It will be. Like, you're cheering for Barry because you want him to succeed.
Yeah.
And then as you said, that transition, because Cyborg ties into what I brought this up last week. That sign that said "You are not alone," which was also an homage to what Zack was saying in real life concerning the campaign that he was funding that was about suicide awareness.
Yeah.
Brought that back in, and Cyborg says that he is not He is not broken. He is not alone. Pretty much for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like a little bit of Cyborg is kind of representing a little bit of Zack's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that.
Like,
I thought that when I first saw it.
Yeah, like maybe that's why Zack put so much effort on him to be the heart of the film. Because to him, that Cyborg was his daughter. Or something that he probably wish he could have said to her. You were not broken. You were not alone. So it was that much heartbreaking when all his stuff got cut and he just had to walk away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw that scene. I was like, I think he's definitely paying homage to Autumn, his daughter, who committed suicide. Honestly, it almost brought a tear to my eye, like knowing that like it was homage to his daughter, because like basically this whole film was a homage to his daughter, just like saying like I'm gonna make this movie for her, and like I'm kind of getting choked up right now just thinking about this scene.
Right. It's like it just pisses me off when you heard all the nasty things. It's not even worth repeating that they said when the Just Ass Lee came out. They were trying to, like, how low in your life do you have to be to say that, oh, she committed suicide because the movie was that bad? Look, if you don't like a movie, you just don't like it. If you say I don't like the director, I don't like him, that's perfectly fine. But just on the premise of being a decent human being, you never, ever, ever troll someone losing their daughter or their child, period.
Yeah, for you to have the goddamn nerve to basically poke fun at a kid who committed suicide and say that, oh, she committed suicide because the movie sucked. That is just...
Yeah, that's I'm not gonna lie.
You're not even human. Like you guys are the fucking devils. Like that frustrates me because I had no idea about that until you brought that up.
You know,
for like 3 months straight after that first one came out, that's all I saw. Look, I have a homie who loves the DC movies, the Snyderverse, just as much as we do. His name is Simeon. He didn't even know about it. I told him, I showed him the screenshots. He made a video on Facebook about how he had to talk about mental illness and how he struggled with it. And then we know a couple people on Facebook that support it. They deal with mental illness as well. I'm like, that's just not funny. It's a fucking movie. No movie is worth that. It's not that important. These are fictional characters. Yes. I understand that they may have a huge impact in your life. Yes, you may have beautiful memories with loved ones with these characters. But at one point, do you stop and think, I'm too attached to this, or I'm too detached from reality that I have to say shit like this all because I didn't like a way fictional characters were portrayed by one person.
Yeah.
That's why you're gonna burn in hell because of that. Oh, she committed suicide because the movie sucked. Yeah, y'all are horrible people. For you to say that shit,
like, I just frustrates me. Retarded, and not even normal retarded. I hope they come out like Donald Trump retarded.
Yeah, straight up retarded shit.
I don't mean to laugh. That I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan, but I'm like, I got lines. I would never in my dreams ever say anything like that, because I mean that's horrible, to be honest. And having struggled with mental health issues, I don't like saying mentally ill, but having gone through that, it is just awful when people say that. It's just like, God, like, it's horrible.
That just frustrates the hell out of me.
Like, I don't even like James Gunn. I don't. I fucking hate him as a director. But I always stress to people, as a director, I don't like him. Because I don't know the man personally. Personally, he could be cool. Personally, he could be one of the funniest people you ever met in your life. Now, granted, it's a little hard to say that with straight face when he made those jokes on Twitter years ago, but hey, we all make mistakes. But that's another thing we have to realize. We're human beings. We don't... If everyone was castrated for things that they've said that they may not have meant, or that they regret saying, no one would have a job.
Yep.
Yeah, like literally on my Twitter, I'm like...
I've said things when I was younger. As an adult now, I realize that was dumb. But I was a kid saying that. I didn't know any better. You know, James Gunn, okay, he made those jokes, whatever. Okay, it is what it is. Kevin Hart, he said the thing about what he said before he hosted Oscars. Okay, get over it. People make mistakes, people say things, but there's no way you can ever be redeemed or excused for wishing death on someone over a movie.
Yeah.
Making fun of a dead person, saying like, "Oh, they committed suicide because they hated the movie." You can never come back from that. Ever.
I don't care if you try to say sorry. No, fuck your sorry. You ain't sorry yet.
No, I don't even care if you make the best movie ever made. You're still a horrible person from saying that. It's just inhumane. Or humane, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even give him that credit.
So, with that happening in the movie, and with Cyborg and being able to disrupt the mother boxes, he comes back, to everything. He has Superman help him rip the boxes apart to fuck up the Unity, and then comes probably, in my opinion, the team up of it is cool, but Wonder Woman by herself, I think this is probably one of the best things she does in the film. When after Aquaman pitchforks Steppenwolf, and Superman hit him with the high and Wonder Woman's like jumped, and I realized this in the Just Ass League when Superman used the cold breath and Wonder Woman jumps up and destroys the axe. I'm like, I realized this was the exact same image when she cuts off his head. I'm like, you even recycled Zack's shot. You dirty motherfuckers. Y'all couldn't even be bothered to do something better. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's too scary. The dude tried to kill everyone. Off with his head. Literally. Like, are you fucking serious? But, oh, no. In Endgame, Thor can cut off Thanos' head perfectly fine.
But,
they don't really show it. They don't really go to, like they show the head, but they don't show anything like blood or whatever, because, they're pussies.
Yeah.
But DC was like, no, fuck that. Not only did he get his head cut off, Darkseid stomped on that shit like a bad orange.
I was like, fuck yeah. Yeah. Because DC, like, as much as I love the MCU, like, DC is the only one who has a set of balls to, like, do some shit, show some shit like that.
And then,
like, yeah, we're gonna chop off Steppenwolf's head, and Darkseid's gonna stomp on it like it's just a grape.
Like it's a fucking fruit.
Felt bad
it's like,
for Steppy a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because like he just wanted to go home. Technically, he did go home.
It's not in the way he expected.
Yeah.
Though
I got decapitated.
Though I will say I am a little confused by this, because Darkseid's like, oh well, I'll be back, and then just fucks off. You're just like, what? Oh yeah, Granny Goodness and I forget the other guy's name, but they show up in the scene. And Mossad, thank you.
Yeah.
They show up in the scene.
That Granny Goodness was in this.
I'm like, Granny Goodness. Yep, where's Mr. Miracle at?
Oh fuck me.
No.
No, I could hear her voice right now, even though she doesn't say anything in the cut. I could hear her from the animated series.
Oh, you mean Ed Asner?
Yeah, it's like, don't you love Granny? I'm like, no, fuck. I swear to God, as a kid, I'm not joking. I did not know if she was a woman or a man. Because the voice threw me off so much.
Oh, it's Ed Asner from Up fame. And Spectacular Spider-Man fame.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace to you.
Oh.
Yeah, when I saw he died, I was like, damn. I was just watching one of his movies the other day, or I rewatched Spectacular Spider-Man, actually, which is awesome.
Release season 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I need to know how that show resolves. I need more of that shit.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. I'll admit, that show was like, oh, Lord. Because I watched the 90s show, and I fucking love the 90s show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nostalgic for me. But, oh, man. But I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. And I saw Spectacular Spider-Man recently, like a few months ago. For the first time, I saw the whole thing. And I was like, oh, it was so good.
Yeah, and you had a brain conniption fit on his love interest situation.
Oh my god, when the New Year's episode, I started splurging out. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh, god, fuck, you know.
I had to tell Jacob, I'm like, I think he's broken, because I was concerned for a minute. I'm like, my dude, you okay? He's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I had a moment. I'm like, no, you had a moment where I was gonna call the police and tell you to take you away and put you in those clothes that make you hug yourself.
Straight jacket.
Yeah, like
straight jacket, your ass.
Like Brit's gonna go insane here.
Which, I mean, I guess I understand, because it's like, oh well, Peter Parker has the worst luck. Yeah, not with females though.
Yeah, I'm always telling Jacob, I'm like, man, I really gotta invest in spider powers. That'll work.
Yeah, look at all the women he has got.
Oh my god.
Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, Liz Allen. Like, I gotta give me some spider powers.
Black Cat, Silk.
Oh my god.
Silk.
Yeah, I forgot. That was a quick thing. I was like, okay. But
why are the people in Marvel such man-hoes? This is ridiculous.
Oh no, we need to do a video one day on who we think the biggest man-hoes are. Daredevil better be on that list.
Oh my god, he's number one. He's number one on my list.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're Catholic, but you still get pussy before marriage. Shut up.
Exactly. No, he takes the number one spot, Daredevil. Yeah.
Him, Bruce Wayne. Well, yeah, I was gonna say Nightwing, but no, Nightwing's not a hoe yet. He did one whole thing, which was he fucked Batgirl before his wedding with Starfire. But
oh my god.
I'm like,
anyway,
that's such a Bruce Wayne thing to do, but okay.
Anyway, back to Dark. I don't get this. I guess Darkseid's like, oh well, guess another day, and then he just like fucks off, and it's like,
well, yeah, the portal was, I guess he consensus was going to close, and the Unity wasn't going to work because it was, the mother boxes were destroyed, so he had no way to get to there anymore. Like, he couldn't go through after the Steppenwolf's body went through.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, it's like, no, we haven't talked about the MCU, but it's like MCU, like it was just like you could tell from the Avengers when Thanos is told they failed. Like it was just a setback in the plan. Like he has another plan to do, but and this is just kind of like, oh, it's fine. We'll come back later. And then he just kind of.
And then Desaad's bitch ass had to say, "See, I told you he would fail," which that could have ended his life. Because remember last time Desaad said something in the animated series, Darkseid lit his ass up like the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Like, and don't you ever doubt me, motherfucker.
And then we get.
I had a flashback of that shit.
And then after that, we get the holy shot of
yes.
and then we get the holy shot of Batman and just the Justice League standing together. And I'll admit, that looks pretty fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think Jacob. I think I told you. You and I had picked up on this. Superman picking Batman out of the darkness. How literal and figuratively that was.
Yeah.
That Superman was the one that pulled him out of the abyss, literally, and in his life. I was like, that's just another nod that only Saki can get away with.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, see, I told you. He brought everyone together. He made Batman see the errors of his ways, and he brought Batman out of this darkness that he's been in since the death of Robin.
And
that's who Superman is.
Then we get to the end, and one of the things with the ending, it's kind of like my only issue really with the new Batman film. It just takes a minute to end because it's like, okay, climax was great, and then it just kind of goes on for a little bit, and I'm like, but it's pretty good. But then again, this is a big ass movie, but it does kind of be like Return of the Kings for a little bit, at least for me.
Well, I know there's a couple people that complain, like, yeah, they could have cut a couple things out, whatever. But for me, in all honesty, I liked every minute of it. there was never anything in it that felt like it should have been cut or like could have been trimmed or like did have to do this. Maybe in that moment I may have thought it, but once I saw the scene through, I realized, oh, okay, that's why it's in there. Okay, never mind. We'll pardon me. Like Cyborg fixing the tape recorder that he broke when Silas was trying to say, "Let me talk to his father," but Victor wasn't ready to hear that. But of course, after his father dies, then he wants to repair because he now wants to hear every word on the recording. I like that. I like the shot of, Aquaman deciding to go back to see his dad after what Cyborg went through. And of course, you get more time on screen with Willem Dafoe, which is never a bad option.
Oh, God, yes.
Him and his sexy long hair. I'm surprised he didn't say anything about William having the long hair in this.
It's fine.
I mean, because he had it in Aquaman, but it was in a bun the entire time.
I would say it's a little goofy, but it's Willem Dafoe. He fucking makes it work.
Right, like he could have a mohawk. It don't matter. It's Willem Dafoe. You let him do what he wants.
Yeah.
And then bitch ass Amber.
Fuck that bitch.
Not even the sexy way.
No, just
okay,
like
before I continue, I have to know between you two. Do you prefer her armor in this, or do you prefer her costume in Aquaman?
I personally prefer it in Aquaman.
It's kind of either or for me. It looks more polished in this movie, but it looks fine in Aquaman.
I say I like Aquaman more. Just
if you want comic accuracy, Aquaman. But I guess out of for continuity reasons, because I like the other one. But it's like they could put both together in the sequels with no problem. You could say that she wears that underneath or something. There's easy way to get around that. But if you want serious boob action, the one in Aquaman all day every day.
I will. Then we get to the epilogue where I think it's
yes.
Then we get to the epilogue of the movie, which ends up coming into one of my favorite, probably my favorite part of the movie, which is the nightmare sequence. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So on the meanwhile in Arkham Asylum, Lex Luthor is there for some fucking reason. I mean, I know what happened in BVS because I saw that movie, and yeah, that happened. And Lex Luthor is somehow in Arkham Asylum, even though he's like one of the most powerful men alive. But I digress. This guy goes to check up on Luthor, like, hey man, you gotta get out of there. And then it's like some fucking random old crazy man is in there. And you're like, oh. And he's like,
There was an Easter egg in that scene too.
Oh no, what happened? Is that secretly Gene Hackman?
No, when the guard calls him by his number, it's actually it's AC something in his numbers. He was basically, that's the number issue in Action Comics where Lex Luthor was first created.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Very cool.
I didn't know that either until I looked back at it, and then someone online had confirmed it, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh shit, this was when he made his debut. I'm like, god damn. Look at you, Zach, showing off the big brain.
Then we cut to another scene that's basically unchanged in this scene, but it's Lex Luthor on the yacht. He is now in his epic gear. He's bald. And he gets visited by Slade Wilson, played by Joe Marginata, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced. Magliano, thank you. Flash Thompson himself. I would have really loved him. And don't get me wrong, I love the dude in Arrow. He's still my favorite portrayal of Deathstroke. But man, I would have loved to see Jacob say the name.
Joe Magliano.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him play Slade Wilson more, because he looked fucking awesome in the role.
Oh, we'll get there. I have a strong feeling we're gonna see more of him because he recently changed his profile picture back to it. I think he's on the train of doing the cryptic message thing too.
Lord.
We will see him again. I'm pretty sure of it.
Oh yeah,
in that little scene that he has, you can tell that there's history.
Yeah, you best know that we're gonna get an amazing fight between him and Batman.
Oh, without question. And then, like I said this to y'all because I created my own Batman thing I'm working on, and I have it where Slade is a student of the League of Assassins, but then on his sword it has the League of Assassins emblem on there. So this Slade has been trained by the League.
Kind of makes sense to me.
It makes perfect sense, but that also makes him more dangerous.
I will say my least favorite Slade Wilson / Deathstroke version is probably in the Batman and Son when him and Damian go off against fucking Hodge from Criminal Minds. I hated him as Deathstroke. Such a smug ass. Just like, ugh. Why did they pick him? Get Ron Perlman back. Jesus Christ. Horrible.
Well, I guess because it had to be different continuity or whatever, which I don't know. He wasn't bad in that. He just seemed a little bit too whiny for me in that.
He's just too smug. I'm like, no, this dude's a warrior. Like, he is not a fucking... He's not just some smug asshole who's gonna explain his plan like a chump.
Like, in his... I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the animated movie of Deathstroke, his solo film...
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Knights and Dragons, it's good. First of all, it's got plenty of blood in it. It's got everything. They don't hold back in that.
Oh, well, that's good. Because I like Deathstroke.
Yeah, his two children are in it, Jericho and Rose. Trust me, that movie. If you've ever wanted to see a movie where they make you care about a quote unquote villain, they could have done this. The way that they did Joker, the way that they could do Lex Luthor as a solo film, whatever, that standalone, they could have done one with Deathstroke because this is perfect.
Oh man,
the guy who plays him in that is so good.
Oh man, I don't know if you heard, but Gareth Evans of the Raid films fame was in talks to make a Deathstroke movie, and it fell through, and I was like, oh my god!
Yeah, because of bitch ass Warner Brothers.
Oh,
that would have been awesome.
Why? That movie would have been amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
like, have you guys seen the Raid films? They are outstanding. Like, I own them. Like, I literally own them. That's how much I love those movies. So good. And oh my god. Oh.
Nah, we'll get Deathstroke. Because Ben said that he was willing to turn his project into a limited series. But he wanted to work with Snyder on it.
What were you saying, Jacob?
Just to ask you both, quick thoughts on Deathstroke's betrayal in the Teen Titans animated show.
Oh, I love it. That and the dude from Arrow, that's my favorite Deathstroke.
Like, if you want to talk about, which, yeah, I think you'll both agree with me, that Ron Perlman's voice acting in that is definitive, like Kevin Conroy as Batman or Keith David as Spawn.
Oh, yeah. Up there with
Because, if you read a comic and you see a character and a specific voice comes to your mind when you're reading it, they're definitive. Because I bet you, when you guys read the Batman comic, Kevin Conroy comes to your mind at least a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Like, for me, whenever I read a Batman comic, Kevin Conroy. Whenever I read a Spider-Man comic, Josh Keaton for me. Whenever I read Joker, Mark Hamill. Whenever I think of Deathstroke, I think of Ron Perlman.
Or, who else can I say? Or if I'm reading Harley, okay, two people come. Margaret Robbie, she comes in, but the actual original actress, because I like Tara Strong, who does Harley in the games, but the original actress that played her in the animated series, those two, her and Tara Strong, their voice comes to my mind when I think of Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Which I didn't know that for the longest time. Tara Strong, the person who does the voice of Raven from Teen Titans, Timmy Turner, does the voice of Harley Quinn.
I'm not gonna lie, I never really loved...
She can do anything at this point.
And she even did Raven's voice in the Injustice game.
Oh,
there
man.
you go.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
But yeah, Deathstroke was awesome.
Oh, in this, yeah, I'm like, I'd love to see more of him because I think he'd be a very good choice for that role. He is a very good choice for that role.
Perfect. And then Lex is a bitch, giving out, he breaks the bro code by snitching Batman's identity.
Snitches on Batman, and he's like, we should form a little league of our own, or is that Justice League?
No, that's cut, Snyder's cut, but it's done better.
Oh, okay.
Which it can still happen if everything's being restored, it most likely will happen. Snyder was also setting out for the Legion of Doom.
I do know that, yeah.
Yeah, because Black Manta was going to be in it, Snart, Captain Cold was going to be in it, Lex Luthor, Dr. Poison, I forget who else was going to be in it. But yeah, that's what he was setting up, which it could still happen. But that's why he said that part. But also that was set up for the Batman project, where in that Batgirl was a supporting character. Dick Grayson was going to be revealed as the Robin that died, which I want to get your opinions on. How do you guys feel that definitively Zack has confirmed the dead Robin in his continuity is Dick Grayson?
I don't know why it can't just be Jason Todd, but, because for me, Jason Todd, that is Batman's greatest failure. Dick Grayson, that's his greatest success. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dick is not perfect by any means, but, he is, to me, Batman's successor. Like, there literally is no one else for me. Then again, I am biased because Dick is my favorite Robin.
I think for me personally, I think it doesn't matter. Like, I'm fine with it because this is the Dark Knight Returns version of Batman. He has a Carrie Kelly.
Right.
And that's the Robin that Zack wanted to lead up to. And in the Dark Knight Returns, you never see Jason Todd. You don't see Dick Grayson. Oh, okay, you do, but that's in DK2, and I never talk about that shit.
Yeah.
But so I think that's why, because it's like you're not going to see him, and then you also have to think about this. We have Jason Todd in Titans, so if you want Jason Todd, you can go to that.
And they fucking rape that in the fucking ass.
You can, you have Dick Grayson in Titans as well. You have Tim Drake, even though I don't agree with the casting of Tim Drake in that, but we'll talk about that another day. You have that. So, you're like, okay, they're not doing anything with Carrie Kelly, and this is in the line of the Batman I had set up. I could use her. So, I don't think it matters. But, so I'm perfectly fine with the fact that it's Dick. Even if he shows a flashback of it being Dick, which he could still change his mind. He could still change it to Jason if he wanted, because they never gave you a specific name. And also, it depends on what Matt Reeves is trying to do with his Batverse, because if he doesn't have any plans for a Robin, then Batgirl most likely could still introduce Nightwing. You never know. But his suit, I want to see that suit. I think I'm in the minority that's actually glad to see the suit where it's got the shorts. Like, I want to see who's ballsy enough to try to make that work.
So I would love to see that in action. I would love to see that suit in action.
Because at least it's not the pixie dust outfit. At least it's a cooler version of it. At least, like, it's got the cool gloves, it's got the spikes, it's just got shorts. But if you got like a little kid, it works on screen if you got the right actor and the execution of it is fine. So
yeah, I mean, I love everything about the suit besides the shorts, but other than that, I think it's badass looking.
And then to see it tattered and then the spray paint on it and all that stuff, it's just so haunting to see.
Oh, yeah.
In the epilogue that we're finally getting to, when Joker keeps pushing his luck, mentioning Dick, the dead Robin. It's like he's bragging about it. And God, I don't know how Batman can go this long and not. I know he won't kill him, but at least snap his neck kind of halfway at least.
Like he did in Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, like, see, I didn't kill you. I just shifted your whole shit. Is all.
I will say my favorite part of this sequence is the nightmare sequence, and let me just tell you guys right now, I am a bit sick of the evil Superman trope. I think it is a bit tired out.
A couple people are, yeah.
But let me tell you, Nightmare actually looks like a lot of fun. I would love to see a movie just about that setting. You know,
that's what the second Justice League is going to be about. I mean, it's not going to be like all only in that world. It's going to show other stuff too, but that does get more screen time to explore. I think the only reason why I'm okay with the evil Superman aspect in this is because I know that the end result is he doesn't turn evil. So you're like, okay, I can tolerate it. There's a point to it. But like Injustice, this shit, or Superman Red Sun, this, I think I might just jump off a bridge because I'm sick of seeing the whole evil Superman. I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah, like
this? Can y'all do a Bruce? Right? Can you do a Bruce Wayne that's Batman but without the dead parents? Huh? Can y'all do that? So I can see why, because like I have a friend named Angel. Him and our friend Luke Alexander on Facebook, they both express how they're kind of tired of that whole Superman trope. And Angel loves Superman. He's the opposite of Brit. He loves Superman. He loves Superman to death. One of his favorite Superman stories is Superman's Secret Origins. So he is tired of seeing that, but he's tolerant of it because he is a Snyder fan. He knows that the end result is going to be Superman not turning bad or doing any of that crap.
You know, but like I said, I think the nightmare sequence, like, I would like to see more of that. I think that would be fun to do. Get some good writers and get them together and make like a movie just in the nightmare setting. I think it could be a good movie, a good what if film, because we haven't really seen. I mean, there is the What If show on Marvel, but I think like a Elseworlds type of movie for DC would be awesome. I love Elseworlds stuff. You know,
I would have liked to see. Well, I know we technically got it already. We got Gotham by Gaslight animated movie.
Kind of, yeah.
But if you had done like something elsewhere with that, I would prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
One where Gordon is not revealed as Jack the Ripper. I don't mind it. It works for the story, but me personally, I was like a little hurt that they went with that route. But I was like, okay.
What do you think of the nightmare sequence, Jacob?
I love it. Like, it could be a movie on its own. I will say about Jared Leto's Joker real quick. Everyone's opinions, like, on Leto's Joker, I feel like it's just fully opinion-based, whether you like him or not. And I know, Carlton, he's your favorite Joker. But
yes.
For me personally, I didn't like him in Suicide Squad. Sorry about that. But in the Snyder Cut, in his little scene, I thought he was exactly the type of Joker that I wanted to see from Leto in Suicide Squad. And also, I just thought he looked a lot more menacing and scary. And also, I just love the entire nightmare sequence. As I said, it could be a movie on its own.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
I think I'm going to add on to that about the Suicide Squad is that, well, we already know Warner Brothers likes fucking up its own flavor of Kool-Aid. But David Ayer has gone on record saying that he killed it in this role in Suicide Squad. As you said, it just depends on if you just like Jared Leto in general, because I feel like his Joker got harsh, had gotten judged way too harshly. Some even saying that he was trying to be like a pimp. No.
Yeah.
Or, well, they don't understand the tattoos. Even though Grant Morrison's run did tattoos Joker, no one complained about that.
This was a dragon tattoo, and and All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder.
Oh God! No, fuck that shit. No, fuck no.
I had to bring that up. I'm sorry.
Because I showed Britton the scripts that Ayer had leaked himself on what happened originally in the Suicide Squad.
Mhm.
This is another reason why I hate Jeff Johns now, because he rewrote pretty much everything. That whole club scene where he says hunka hunka, that was not in the thing. The original thing was he talks to Tattooed Man, who made a comment about Harley. He puts fear into him, and basically it drives the man to kill himself because he's afraid of what Joker could do to him.
Mhm.
Killer Croc was way different. Deadshot was different. Deadshot and Harley hook up. Katana gets mind controlled for a second by Enchantress and fights the squad. Enchantress didn't have a hula hoop thing going on. She had a different transformation. The older brother, whatever thing, that was not in it. Actually, one of the concepts was Steppenwolf had a cameo in that because this was setting up before Zack Snyder's Justice League, so he was in it to some degree. Diablo survived. Joker and Harley had the domestic abuse angle on their story, and he survived the plane crash. Harley rejects him, basically breaks up with him, and he lashes out on them, and then he makes his grand escape. So there was so many things that were way different in that. In Suicide Squad, first of all, I love the way he looked. I will defend that all day, every day.
Oh, I loved it.
I loved how he looked in Suicide Squad. Yeah, the damage tattoo. Why is that there? Well, idiots. He said before. This is after he killed Robin. Batman beat his teeth in, so his you know how Joker feels about his teeth, his smile. So he was like, I'm damaged. So he put that on there, and he did the tattoos on him as a way, as like kind of like it's a psychological meltdown type of thing. It wasn't to be looking cool or to look badass or whatever. Joker's cool no matter what you do.
Also, I also love that they added grills to him because it makes sense because Batman has been punching Joker a lot. Like he's gonna lose some teeth, of course. So that to a sense of realism. Like of course he's gonna lose some teeth. So of course he would have grills. It would make more sense.
Exactly, because in comic books they show Joker being punched, and they got even the artists have said they hate having to do it where like a tooth like flies because then now you're stuck with him having a missing tooth for however long he's in the remainder of the story. And then, like, the next issue, he's got teeth again. Like, it bothers them. So this, I'm like, at least they did something with that story-wise. And then, in a deleted scene, when Batman saves Harley from the Lamborghini going into the water, the deleted scene was Batman legit says, he took something from me, so I'm going to take something from him. Meaning Jason Todd. Or Dick Grayson, whoever is the dead Robin. And again, that was continuing that they have history with each other. But in that 1 5-minute scene that wasn't even in the original filming, Joker and Batman, their interaction with each other just screams history, screams hatred for each other, screams that they know each other so well.
Yep.
And to think that Warner Brothers told Zack, you can't do this. He's like, I'm going to do it. He's like, well, we won't give you the studio to do it. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it in my backyard. And he did it in his backyard. And the only thing is, I wish that they were physically with each other because their schedules conflicted.
Yeah.
So Jared had to do it by himself. Ben and Joe, they did their scene by themselves. And all it is green screen behind them. But the car that Jared is sitting on, Zack got like an old rusty-ass car as a prop to physically be on and put it all together really well. And I would have never known that if I hadn't seen the behind-the-scenes footage. Because Jon Stewart's scene that he did was shot in Zack's backyard, too.
I will say, I think Jared Leto, personally, I think he's a fucking weird guy. And not in a good way. It's just, me and Jacob have talked about this. There is something off about that man.
I mean, he thinks he's Jesus.
I swear the guy thinks he's Jesus. But, he played the Joker in this scene I actually really liked. I'm like, yes, it feels like the Joker, and not just some guy acting like the Joker like in Suicide Squad. And like that's the Joker. He gets on under Batman's skin the way no one else could do. Like no one else could. I'm like, yes, that's the Joker. Like that's who the Joker is to me.
Though I will say, like I agree with Carlton. I mean, I have my opinions on his Joker and Suicide Squad, but I loved his design. Like it was like very menacing and scary. Like for me, just as scary looking as Heath Ledger's Joker. But in the Snyder Cut, he looked kind of funny. Looked like it looked like Joker trying to be Jesus.
A little bit.
Which I mean, they even did in the promotional art where he has the barbed wired crown, like they did on Jesus when he was being crucified.
Yeah, like his teeth look kind of weird too. It's like, what the fuck? Did he like smear chocolate on his teeth or something? Like,
no, it's blood or it's something. Like, they did it where I think personally they did it where you can't really see his teeth because they weren't sure if they were going to do the grills thing or not. But also the lighting, I don't know. I think it's blood. Like from story purpose, I don't know.
That would make more sense. If it is blood, it makes more sense.
Right, because it's post-apocalypse. I'm pretty sure not everyone's in the best health now, especially Joker. But it had that monologue, and then even this part did get cut out of the Snyder Cut, but you can watch it on YouTube. Someone made an edit of it, and it flows perfectly. There's a line where after they make the truce, and after Batman had told Joker, like when Harley was dying in my arms, she begged me to promise that I would kill you, that I'd do it slow. After Joker made the comment about the dead Robin, Joker says, "Tell me, who do you think screamed the loudest? The boy or the girl?"
Like, damn.
And that scene, that line right there is like pretty much the mic drop of their conversation. It is so perfect that in that scene, Batman got under his skin too. It shows that they both know how to get under each other's skin when they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Joker's like, "You almost had me there." Like, "Oh, you're good." Like, see, that's why I love you, Bats. And that's also the first time I've seen this Joker say Batman. Because I'm like, you didn't hear that in Suicide Squad. The extended cut, nothing. You never heard him even acknowledge him. When you actually physically see him say, "Isn't that right, Batman?" You're like, "Oh shit!" Like, oh my god! And then the moment gets interrupted with Superman coming down, breaking the sky. Cyborg, is unloading. Amber has the Trident ready to do whatever. I don't know what the fuck she thought she was gonna do, but okay. Because it's not like she has the magic Trident that Aquaman has that can kill Superman because he's vulnerable to magic. Flash, he suits up. And then we wake up with Bruce in his mansion. And this is probably, I think, if you're a Martian Manhunter fan, you're gonna like this scene because this actually gives interaction between Bruce and Martian Manhunter. And the entire time I was looking at it, all I think of was, I gotta tell Britton about this scene. But you hadn't seen it yet, so I couldn't exactly. But I knew how much you love Martian Manhunter.
Oh man! Oh, when he the secretary guy who was talking to her earlier, he shows up, and like Bruce wakes up from the dream, and he shows up in his glory, Martian Manhunter. Oh my god! Finally, a live-action Martian Manhunter. I'll give you this, Snyder. You may have a complicated relationship, but thank you for having a live-action Martian Manhunter in your movie. Because, man, I was fucking giddy when I saw that.
Right, and you saw how Bruce was just nonchalant. He's like, at this point, I'm used to the fact that there's an alien in front of me.
Oh my god.
And then it's like, yeah, I've gone by many names. We'll be in touch. Oh, some even called me the Martian Manhunter. And then,
chills down my
spine. Dude, so good.
I think he had better cape action than even Superman, low key.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so good. I love Martian Manhunter so much. He tells...
I'm sorry, you go first.
He thanks Bruce for getting the Justice League together, and then he's all like, I'll be in touch, and he, like, floats away.
Like, yeah, I did the work already, motherfucker, but I guess I'll see you.
You know, I also forgot to mention, they do the fucking thing again, where Superman fucking Goku just boom right into the ground, and it's super intentional. Like, oh, fuck, it's happened next in Nightmare. We'll see it in another movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right, they do. And then, oh yeah, we almost forgot about the shot where Superman opens his shirt and does the whole S logo thing. That was a beautiful shot.
Oh yeah.
I do want to see, because we will see Man of Steel 2 at some point. We will. I'm just curious on how they're gonna put that in the store and explain how he's back. That is something that did cross my mind. I'm like, no one knows Clark. Well, because people went to Clark's funeral. How are you going to... And they saw his casket open at the thing. How are you going to explain that?
I don't know, but...
Unless the Flashpoint thing... Which I don't know if it's Flashpoint. But unless Flash does something that kind of explains that or makes it easier for me to believe that, oh, okay, maybe a couple things were tweets. Because Superman's going to be in the Flash. The guy that's attached to it that showed like the leaked footage of Flash and showed his suit already said Superman is in it. And I've been hearing, ever since then, I've been hearing rumors about it. More people are coming up and saying, yeah, it's true. And then 2 weeks ago, the delays were announced. And then Flash is, instead of it coming out in November, it's coming out in June of next year. I was like, at first I was mad. I think I showed Jacob this, and he was upset because everything was being pushed. When I showed you this,
I was mad too. I was really looking forward to that Flash movie.
You said in question marks, boo? Like, are we mad about this?
yeah, I did. I was like, I was a little confused what you were getting at, and I was like,
I'm still mad about it.
But I am upset that they're I'm upset they're getting that it got pushed up. Like, man.
But I'm happy at the same time because I know that, for one, the merge is about to be completed. And you know for a fact that they said the new CEO said something. It was like, hey, delay these because we got to put everything back for the Snyder stuff. Because the original lineup, I think, was Black Adam was supposed to be the next one in July. Then Shazam. Then Flash, Aquaman, and Batgirl. Excuse me. But then Shazam got pushed up. So we're going to get that earlier. Black Adam is pushed to October. And they're about to do reshoots. The Flash is the only one that has not been screened at all. Black Adam has been screened a couple of times. Shazam was screened a couple of times. Aquaman was screened once or twice. But Jason Wan came out and said he was glad that it got delayed because it gives him time to work on the special effects.
Mm-hmm.
But Flash, none of his visual effects stuff has been worked on yet. What you saw in the trailer from DC Fandom is all that's been done.
Yep.
So I'm like, wait a minute, it's getting rewritten. Oh, some of it is getting rewritten and reshot. That's only fueling what I've been saying almost for a year now, that Ben Affleck isn't going to die, that they probably had it where they tested both versions to see if they were going to continue it, and they decided, you know what, we'll continue the Snyderverse. Let's retweak it and bring in the people that we want to bring in so we can do Justice League 2, 3, Batman stuff, etc., etc. Which is cool. And then Batgirl, obviously, she had to be delayed because she happens after The Flash, where James Gordon is in that, and he's younger. I'm like, okay. And then you have Michael Keaton's Batman in it, who, no, he's not going to take over. I'm so sick of hearing people say that shit.
Yeah, it seems to me like it's kind of a No Way Home thing where it's like, a love letter to the fans.
It's a passing of the torch thing, but I think what they're doing is that Flash is going to create a new timeline where the Snyder stuff can happen on its own, but then there's this other universe that coexists with it, where that has a Batgirl in Tim Burton's Batman thing. My only thing is why is Jim Gordon played by J.K. Simmons, who's Ben Affleck's? And then there's still teases that Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be in this or is involved in it somehow. I'm sure it'll make sense and it will be restored, but it's a little complicated. But to see that the people that were involved in it before are pretty much getting ready to hit the door. And the only reason why Hamada ain't gone yet is because his contract doesn't expire until 2023. But he's leaving. His ass is gone. And, a new CEO for Warner Media has been announced already. There's a new board. Toby Emmerich doesn't have any control anymore. I think he's still going to be with Warner Brothers, but he will have no creative decisions at all anymore. Which, thank God for that shit.
I think after Martian Manhunter leaves, I think that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, you get to the tear-jerking version of Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That was sung by the woman that is a friend of Zack. She sung at Autumn's funeral. She sung the song.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't listen to it too often because I don't feel like crying all the time. But if you listen to it once, you can't listen to that and not feel something.
Leonard
Cohen. Oh, I felt something. She almost brought a tear to my eye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
It did protect me. I'm not gonna lie. I cried like a bitch.
Oh, man.
I did.
Well, the Snyder Cut. Man, this might be our longest episode to date so far, but this was fun. It's fun talking about these.
Yeah, imagine if we tried to do this with you drunk.
Oh my god.
No, we would have still been on the tunnel part.
Oh my god, I would have been plastered. Ugh.
I'm like, alright, folks, we'll have to do a part fucking 3.
Yeah, thank God. Ugh. Man, I had a feeling, even if I did do part 1 sober, I had a feeling we might have to split it into 2 parts, because this is a long-ass movie. Not, it does move along fastly, but just talking about all the shit that happens in this movie is just, ugh. It's gonna take a while. Like, it's... But,
we probably would have done a part 2 anyway, because it's a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, it was fun.
When you add in the drama that happened afterwards, I think that's another reason why this probably is going to take so long, because Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's his greatest triumph, but it's also so much complicated history behind the story.
Oh, man. Like I said last episode, it's a fucking dramatic episode filled with, it just... How can I even describe it? That could be a movie on its own, just making the Snyder Cut. Like, they could make, a really compelling documentary, or even a fictional movie about it, and you could probably, get money out of it, if they do it right.
Honestly.
Let's see Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's relationship. No, this would beat it. The drama behind Warner Brothers and behind the Justice League.
Oh my god, it would have been just, oh man, that could be a movie. That could be a fucking documentary or movie or anything. I don't fucking... Oh god, but this film is, just the, opus of Snyder's DC movies, really. Massive improvement over the Justice League, I have to say. That movie, but, I would say that doesn't take a lot of effort, but let me tell you, this movie is a massive improvement over the previous version of the Justice League.
Shining example of when you let a director just make his movie.
Yeah, no studio interference, just a director doing his own thing, having 100% creative freedom. And look, we got the Snyder Cut, and I loved it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, mostly. It's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. It's a well-made film. I'll put it that way.
Which is shocking to say, especially coming from someone who has a tumultuous relationship with Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, I still think his best movie is 300, because that's just a film where he's like, fuck it, we're just gonna go with the fucking over-the-topness of everything. and he just runs with it. But, you know, I mean, I'd love to talk about 300 someday, because I'd fucking love that movie.
I think, for me, before I saw Justice League, I think the movie that stood out for me the most with him, I think was Watchmen. Because that's when I first saw that, one, he can handle superheroes, but two, he can handle dark stuff in general. Even though my first introduction to him was Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, that's also very good. That's also a really good movie. Very good remake as well.
Right, because he was under a lot of pressure to make that. I blame him for the fucking running zombies, because it was his idea to make them run.
You know, I actually kind of like the running zombies. It makes it more intense for me.
It does, but that's why I hate it, because who the fuck... If I see a running zombie in real life, I'm a Joker snap my own shit. I can't deal with that. I can't compute. And then in the Army of the Dead, he's like, oh, no, I'm going to make it worse. They learn. They can fight back. When Batista was fighting and he was ducking his attacks, I said, fuck this. This nigga can dodge. This dude can karate chop me. They have a king that knows to put a helmet on because they know we're going to shoot for the head. Son of a bitch.
Like, god damn it, Snyder. Damn.
Though, I gotta say, 300 is, like, it's fucking awesome. It's just over the top machismo, and it's done in a really cheeky way. I love it. It's like, it's not high art, but it doesn't try to be. And I love that, you know? For someone I pick on a lot for trying too hard, like, it's nice to see him just let loose and just fucking run with it. And,
right.
Yeah.
If that movie doesn't get you pumped up, I don't know what does.
Oh my god, it's just...
Sparta!
Oh god, I'd love to just record us just watching the movie and be like, yeah!
You know,
kill those Persians!
Oh, yes.
We should do auto commentary on that movie.
Yeah, it would be...
We'll do our own watch along. Alright, folks, the three of us gonna comment and watch a movie together.
Oh man, but this was fun. I enjoyed myself. I mean, I did get plastered last episode, but this was fun too. We had a lot of laughs.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, a lot of laughs, a lot of rants, a lot of side rants.
Yep.
I didn't mean to. But to further sum up, I still stand by it. Fuck Guy Gardner.
Yeah, Guy Gardner, worst Green Lantern. Fuck that. God, fuck him. Fuck him.
God, it's okay.
Just fuck him. We don't bring him up ever again.
Never. Like,
oh man.
Who? Guy who? I don't know who that is.
Oh god.
I know Kyle Rayner. I know Jessica Cruz. I don't know that nigga. you talking about the one with the Ike Turner haircut? No, I don't know who he is.
Oh man. All right. Okay. What movie for next week? Oh god. I thought about this. I was kind of debating with myself on if I should do one movie or another. But I decided, Jacob, you have seen this, right? I wanted to do The Prestige from Christopher Nolan.
Haven't seen that forever, honestly.
Damn it. You haven't seen it?
I don't think I've ever seen it at all.
Wait, you haven't seen it, Jacob?
It's not fresh. It's not fresh in my memory, honestly.
Oh, okay. My second choice was a mutual favorite of ours, Jacob, and that's Collateral, because I wanted to talk about a Tom Cruise movie.
Yes. Love Collateral.
Yes.
I'm shocked. I thought you were going to pick, like, the Batman for sure, but...
I would pick the Batman, but I kind of want to salivate the taste a little bit, kind of think about it more. I'd like to see it again as well.
Yeah,
before
I still need to see it, too.
Before I do something else.
Oh, I'm getting ready to see that tomorrow with a cousin of mine. I'm finally going to break the cherry on seeing a Batman movie in theaters.
Oh, man,
yes.
I thought it was incredible.
About time.
Because I saw it online because I couldn't wait. And even though, it's going to be on HBO Max on the 19th of April, I've never seen a Batman movie in the theaters as much as I love Batman. So I'm like, I got to see this.
Though,
I have to see this one.
No. But let's do Collateral if you don't want to do if you haven't seen Prestige, Because I think Collateral would be fun to do. Because I love that movie.
I have seen it, but it's been forever. So, but Collateral, much fresher in my memory.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorites.
I also wanted the excuse to see it again because I rewatched Last of the Mohicans the other day because I saw Last Samurai and I thought, oh, that's good. But I think Last of the Mohicans is a better version of that movie. And I saw it again. I'm like, this movie's awesome. And I'm like, I want to watch Collateral again now because I really like Michael Mann's movies. Or at least a good majority of them. Black Hat fucking sucks, but aside from that, fucking hate that movie. So bad.
Black Hat.
Oh, there's two things I forgot to say. One, I'm surprised I have not seen y'all cover There Will Be Blood on this channel yet.
Oh, like I said, I'm salivate. I want to salivate that. I want to tease I want to tickle my balls a little more before we see that. We talk about that.
And then two, I know you love the Batman and how much the Batman was. Did you hear the news that Paul Dano is going to be writing a comic about Riddler?
I did hear about that. I'm very interested to see what he does.
Yeah, Riddler Year One, and it ties into the movie.
But yeah,
so we're wait till October for that. So oh god,
we're gonna do Collateral. But oh man, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the superhero movie world. But yes, we did it. We did Snyder's Justice League. And you know what? It was fun. I really enjoyed talking about this movie.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Carlton, always a pleasure to have you on. We got to have you on again at some point, man. Really.
Well, please do. Because I always love coming on here.
Oh, man. It's a good time. It's a good time. Oh, man. I've been Britton.
And I've been Jacob.
And we do it for the love of the movies.
Yes, we do.
At least for the most part. Oh, God. But yes, enjoy everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.